Welcome, everybody, to episode 116 of the Bombshell podcast. I'm your host, dkdynamite, with our lovely co-host, Fajardi. How are you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, doing really well. A lot of busy past few days, obviously, with the Season 3 Reloaded update, some new Black Ops 6 information that leaked out. A lot to stay busy with, a lot to cover, and it's it's gonna be a good one to break it all down and discuss today.
Yeah, it is a beautiful sunny day here on this Friday afternoon. And I want to say this was probably one of the busiest work weeks that I've had. I think the team at Detonated had in a little while. There was so much going on, which I'm happy about, right? I'd rather be extremely swamped and busy than not. But yeah, the next two Fridays, real quickly, for the podcast are a bit up in the air. I know I'll be out of town next weekend and then even again the following weekend. But there is a possibility we have a guest for one of those episodes. We might pre-record something just as an FYI for those out there like, hey, did you forget about the podcast? Like, nope. Just the unusual Fridays where I'm literally not at home. But as of a couple days ago, on May 1st, the launch of Season 3 Reloaded, it was definitely, I want to say, the busiest DLC launch in a hot minute. As a big reminder, Bombshell is powered by Detonated. We've had plenty of brand new articles going up over the last couple of days, several of which got updated because they were already indexed. There was a lot that got posted, and we're going to get into Black Ops 6, all of that in just a little bit. But very, very proud of the team for taking care of the site. And then, Fajardi, co-owner, managed to get dozens of tweets out. I mean, the spam was unreal, but it was reasonable spam, right? I wouldn't even call it spam. There was just so much to cover. What would you say?
Slowly more and more with especially the Detonated Twitter account. It's becoming a little bit easier as long as, I'm sort of quick to put out a leak or, something. The performance is a lot better on the live tweeting, which is usually, not the case for smaller accounts. Obviously, the bigger ones just kind of post and trump over everything, right? But but having a lot of fun, getting those leaks out as fast as I can, getting the thumbnails done while the live videos are being done. And then, of course, we had a bunch of people this time working behind the scenes, getting the zombie stuff together, like Pac Shown, Taco Occasion, all those guys. They were playing, getting some zombie stuff, writing the articles out and weekly challenges, everything like that. So there's a lot going into it. There's a lot
Definitely.
going into it now. So
no, it's awesome, man. Teamwork makes the dream work, and seriously, it was crazy to see just how much got done in a single day. I'm just still shocked about how much got posted, but yeah, that should definitely be a precedent for how we cover things, especially for the release of Black Ops 6. Now, as of yesterday, I do want to point this out, right? Because I know on Wednesday the 1st, I posted like 6 videos in one day. It was crazy, and we'll get into exactly what all that was in a second. But yesterday, I'm like, all right, I had about 2 videos planned for yesterday. And YouTube actually went down, which I don't believe has happened in a while, where you'd upload a video no matter how long it is and processing wouldn't start. Like, you literally couldn't process a video to save your life. It don't matter if it was a long form video, a short, doesn't matter. YouTube was down for a number of hours, actually, and finally it got fixed. Had a video ready to go a lot later than I wanted to post it, but it is what it is. Nothing I could do about that. Talked about all the upcoming bundles for Season 3 Reloaded in last night's video, for those that do care about cosmetics. And speaking of which, Devin Booker just went live. I want to say a good, what time is it? 12:40, about 40 minutes ago. That was supposed to release on, I think it was Wednesday the 1st, according to the trailer, and it got delayed for unknown reasons. What's funny about that is that on Call of Duty's Twitter, they just quietly mentioned, oh, by the way, it got delayed till the 3rd. I swear no one saw that tweet. I swear I didn't even see it until somebody in my chat pointed out. I don't know. Did you see it when it first came out, or was I the last one to see that?
I saw it when you sent it to me the other day.
Okay. It was very random.
To be honest, I didn't really care either. Wasn't really looking forward to the bundle, but get a tweet out of it, I guess. But,
I guess both Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have it in common. They both got knocked out of the playoffs the day or around the same time when the bundles released in Call of Duty. So unfortunate RNG, but at least they could take home some W's with their Call of Duty bundles.
Curse.
Yeah, I guess it's a Call of Duty curse there. Yeah, the book was here, 2,400 COD points. You get an operator skin, you get some tracer blueprints, you get a finishing move, pet companion, and then someone in the chat's probably going to be like, oh, no one cares about cosmetics and bundles. Trust me when I say people do, because you know how many comments I just got over, I think, the last video or two asking, oh, what's going on with the clown bundle? What happened? Is it delayed? Where's Devin Booker? I thought he was coming out the 1st. The amount of comments I've been getting about bundles is hilarious. And one could argue, oh, it's because you cover them. It's like, no, I mean, even on videos where I'm talking about like random things, like unrelated to bundles, could be zombies, could be Black Ops 6. People are asking about cosmetics. So I'm like, people care. Believe me when I tell you. But what's awesome is that the set of bundles that leaked out, one of them includes what I'm calling the Halo gun. Do you see that blueprint for the Holger 5.56? It looks ridiculous. I swear it's just straight out of Halo. That's the
I
vibe
don't know
I'm
which
getting
one
from.
you're referring to. Which one are you referring to?
Yeah, you see it on screen right now. It just looks crazy, man. I'm like, whatever. It's that one looks
pretty
cool. The winter 1-for-1 skins are finally coming, which is awesome for those that are wondering. I know people were asking me about the blue monster bundle as well. There's this really cool skin for that. That's unknown as of now. It's probably just gonna be a random drop either later this season or in season 4. But with bundles aside, on top of that, people are probably wondering what's going on with that Warzone reload bug, and there's some really odd issues that kind of got dropped with the launch of the midseason. It was confirmed this morning by COD updates that update cannot be resolved via a hotfix. It'll actually be a patch next week. So I know I hopped in Warzone to get some B-roll yesterday, and the bug sucks, but the game's not unplayable. You know what I mean? I'm not excusing a bug like that, by the way, but every time there's a major title update, obviously things are going to break. There's going to be things that get affected. That's with any major game. It happens. People are going to be like, oh, it's unacceptable. You know, they're releasing bundles, but not fixing this. It's like, it's probably a complicated problem that they have to actually release a patch for. And they don't typically release patches all too often. It's usually like the beginning and the middle of a season when they do that. Hotfix, I'm not sure why they can't hotfix it, but have you seen many comments about that? I know it's been a little bit of controversy around Warzone. Everyone, like, I mean, even on my zombies videos, people are like, how could you be covering this and you're not addressing the reload bug? It's like, I mean,
I haven't seen any comments.
That's good.
On Detonated.
That's good.
So.
It's just it's beyond ridiculous when I see comments like that. Sometimes it's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I mean, I have talked about it definitely on stream, and actually in one of my recent videos too. I brought it up real quickly, but it's like there's not much else I could do about it. But yeah, that's a really unfortunate issue. There's also a PS5 dev error. I think it was like 5433. That got resolved once people out there, I think, disabled on-demand texture streaming. But I think a hotfix went out to fix that anyway. So yeah, obviously there's weird issues every season, chat. Nothing new. It happens. You know, can't be too upset about it unless it like dramatically affects everybody. But it's such a just odd issue that usually gets fixed really quickly. On top of that, go ahead and lead this discussion real quickly. Just want to go into some non-COD topics real quick before we get deep into Black Ops 6 and Season 3 Reloaded. X-Defiant now has a release date of May 21st. Real quickly, walk me through how chalk that window is because of how much is going on right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think like you had that weird period with MW2 leading up to MW3 where everyone was kind of like, oh, like X-Defiant is going to do so good, this and that. They don't drop it. They delay the launch. MW3 launches, and everyone's like, okay, we have good multiplayer again. We don't really that conversation kind of died down. And then months pass. You kind of hear like no one knows when this official launch date is, and people are kind of like, oh, it's just going to be like any day now, which is terrible. Like, I don't know why video games do this now, where it's kind of like it's like people are guessing when the launch is. Like they're doing it with multiverses, and like it's just, I don't know. It's just a really bad product in my opinion. But now they're like, okay, official launch date, May 21st. Is that what you said? May 21st?
Oh yeah, May 21st. Hold on one second. I'm switching my camera. Keep going.
I just think like, you know, a game like that needed to drop like before the next COD marketing starts kicking up. But we're talking about the 21st. Like we're going to be a week or two away, probably having that first Black Ops 6 reveal event for the blueprint in Warzone already. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that game performs, because like we're already getting into like Black Ops hype, and then, like, you know, I understand people kind of being like, okay, MW2, we need something else now, but now it's kind of like, okay, now you're getting into Black Ops territory, you're getting into a new COD territory. I think this game's going to get swept under the rug within like a month.
Yeah,
which is sad.
Yeah, I was trying to fix my camera, and it's just not working out right now. It kind of got tipped over as I was starting pod. But yeah, no. To your point with the window, I just genuinely couldn't tell you a better time to go ahead and drop that game. I mean, it's like you were saying, there was a big discussion about, movement and multiplayer last year, and then MW3 came out and just kind of wiped all those issues away. So it's like the game misses opportunity. But without going off on a big tangent, I'll just say the game itself obviously has to come out. I'm not saying just never release it. I think, it's better to release it ASAP than not. But maybe they could have picked a slightly better time because, that's like right before season 4 starts for COD, and there's going to be a massive Black Ops reveal. That's
literally a week before season 4. Like the day they drop it, think about this. The day they drop it, the 21st, right? The next day is season 4 marketing. Or sorry, no, it's season 4 marketing. Yeah, the next day,
the 22nd. It'd be the 22nd, yeah, because the 22nd. The 22nd would be marketing, and then no, you want to get crazier than that, right? The launch window of that game it's gonna be launching in preseason, and there's honestly very limited content for that preseason window. So a 6-week preseason that has people concerned
6
as well.
weeks?
Yeah, that's actually wild. So then by time this first season comes out for that game, we're gonna be looking at season 4 Reloaded, and then like probably a lot more Black Ops info on top of that. By the time you hit, what is that, like late June, early July? Like I don't know, man. That's just insane. That's insane.
Obviously Call of Duty has preseasons, maybe not 6 weeks, but definitely like multiple weeks. But I think Call of Duty's in a different boat because like X-Defiant is literally there's 5 multiplayer modes and that's it. And it's just like a Call of Duty, like they just want to be Call of Duty, as we heard from reports, where they're just trying to like mimic Call of Duty. So like I'm just really curious, like what's the end goal of this game? Like, because you're not gonna like beat out Call of Duty. Call of Duty releases every single year,
right?
Massive hype. Like it took this long to get X-Defiant. Are they gonna make X-Defiant 2? Like no. But yeah, I just think that game is honestly it should release. Like I think the perfect release for that game is like a February, March, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
But the March release date they had was good. Like I think that was a good, like the rumored one. I think that was a good release date.
Especially when like season 2s are usually like not low points, but are typically like the least hyped up portions of a COD cycle. At least that's what it's been for the last couple of years. And that's kind of what it was for Modern Warfare 3, even though the content I think was great. I think the interest definitely wasn't on par with like season 1 and then now season 3. But yeah, with that, talking about other games for a second, there's also a controversy going on today with Helldivers. I think it released on PC, but in some regions, PlayStation or just PSN in general is banned. And the game requires you to make a PlayStation account to play. And we were just talking about this off stream real quickly. So how crazy is that now? Because some people just literally can't play the game because of legal reasons. I mean, what is going on with that? What a start for that game cycle.
And you can see the review bombs. Like I'm not sure if you have the picture up on it, but it's basically like all positive reviews, very little negative reviews. And today it's like more negative reviews than positive reviews like in the past like month. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's really insane that like we saw it. I mean, Escape from Tarkov was already kind of going downhill, but Escape from Tarkov also similar, like falling off recently this week. And it's just like, I don't know what these game companies are doing. These game companies are just like, they just want to screw up. Or not that I want to, it's just they can't stop from screwing up and just making like Helldivers had the perfect community, perfect backing, perfect people love playing it, and then they just release something like that is not going to sit well with the whole entire PC community.
It's wild. And I know last week we got interrupted. We were talking about the Tarkov controversy, and I know your Discord went down. It was like a region issue. What was it last week? It was
it was some weird shit.
So I know. So Vedretti got interrupted last week when we were talking about this. I had to call him on his phone for a couple of minutes until his Discord came back up. But Tarkov had a controversy too, where they promised certain content that was going to be released for free through an update. Then it got locked behind a new edition of the game, which cost X amount of money. People were furious, and then I think the publisher from Tarkov started like kind of just
roasting other games.
Roasting other games and competitors, which just wasn't a good look. It was just it was crazy, man. It was crazy to look at. But as we wrap up, a quick topic on other games. They also, dude, I'm salty about this, man. They announced Arkham Shadow VR. I'm a massive Batman Arkham fan, and after the absolute just disaster with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, I was like, oh my god, they got Roger Craig Smith, from Arkham Origins to come back as Batman. Oh my god! But then it's for a VR game for MetaQuest only. Not like, even if it was for like PlayStation 5 VR, it's a little more acceptable. But you do it for Meta only, which means it's just on PC. Like what? What are you doing? what is that?
I think the Arkhamverse could have been restored if they just oh my god, if they just had WB Games Montreal make Gotham Knights in the Arkhamverse, setting up Batman's Return and Suicide Squad. Boom, do that. And then if Suicide Squad failed, you can just do like, okay, we have this Roger Craig Smith, is that his name?
I believe so. Yeah.
You can just have him, the voice actor for Batman and Origins, do a between Asylum and City game as like a fallback.
Or you mean between Origins and Asylum?
Isn't Arkham Shadow between Asylum and...
No, it's Origins and Asylum, because there's still a big gap there. It's like a decade.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case may be, something in that time frame. I mean, just have that as like a single player Arkham experience. But
I mean, I'm looking at
now there's 87 people playing Suicide Squad, which Suicide Squad, it was fun when I played it. Like, there's definitely some fun mechanics, but like we were talking about off stream, it's like you have a bad first season, like no one's gonna care at all.
It's very rare, I think, for a live service game to really build momentum back so deep in a cycle after multiple failed seasons. And Suicide Squad's only had one season, but that one season, it just got off on the worst note possible for everybody. I can't even see the game getting more than like 2-3 seasons. I just can't see it, which is sad, because like the Rocksteady we know and love may not be there anymore. It's not the same folks that made the beloved Arkham series. So at this point, it's like, will the studio shut down? Will they move on to another project and ditch the Arkhamverse? I don't know, but the Arkhamverse still exists somewhere, but it's only on MetaQuest. So we'll leave it at that. But jumping into our updates the other day, I couldn't quite fix the camera the way I wanted to. I should have done it before we started. I didn't realize it got kind of got messed up on the tripod. But starting with Season 3 Reloaded. Yeah, no, it's just not as straight as it should be. But Season 3 Reloaded, let's talk about the first surprise that we got, right? Prestige camos. So once you've maxed out a weapon, you don't have to get the mastery camos, by the way. I'm not talking about Priceless or Interstellar. Once you've maxed out a weapon, meaning you've leveled it to the max level, you can then unlock a prestige camo, which requires you to get 150,000 XP for that weapon alone. It's a per weapon basis type of unlock. And this is a very big surprise, because remember on that creator call, I'm not sure if this is the same topic though. Let me see. On the creator call.
It's not. It's different. I was just talking about that. It's a separate.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a separate update for it. Yeah.
It's funny. You know, I was going to say the promise they made on the recent creator call, where they're like, "Hey, we're going to be working on a reward for those that have completed the mastery camos in Modern Warfare 3." I'm not sure if it means like, hey, if you've done Orion from MW2 and Interstellar, or if it's just Interstellar and Borealis, or is it all of them? Is it like Orion, Bioluminescent, Borealis, and Interstellar? It's unclear what combination of masteries they're talking about, but apparently a reward for having done some of those is in the works. And I'm like, oh, I was thinking maybe this was it, but you think it's not, right? You think it's a separate progression system for Call of Duty.
Not, because this has nothing to do with mastery camos. It's a separate thing. It's prestige camos. It has nothing to do with getting mastery camos prior to actually unlocking it. All you have to do is simply just level up the weapon to max, and you can start earning that prestige camo. From my understanding, the white camo, the new mastery camo was more said along the lines of, okay, we're going to reward players for getting every single mastery camo, and there's going to be a special unlock for it. And this doesn't really fall in line with that. Maybe they clarify it some other time and say, no, this is actually, we decided to make it this because we're going to have one every season, which, by the way, confirms Season 6 in the UI for MW3.
That's actually cool. That's really funny that it does that. That means
we're pretty much guaranteed a haunting event. I'd say it's pretty concrete. But yeah, I think we're gonna get on top of the prestige camos every single season, which is like a lot of content for every single weapon. Like, that's a lot.
That's an insane grind, by the way. 150,000 weapon XP is not easy to get. It's not regular XP, by the way. It's not talking about like your player XP. It's talking about weapon XP. That's a completely separate grind. That's a lot. So first off, yeah, that's great that season 6 got confirmed. I guess Vanguard will go down as the only game that didn't get a haunting or a 6th season. That's how down bad that game was that they cut it off that early. Whatever, not a big deal. But go ahead.
The part I'm sad about is that I really want the crossover stuff at a minimum to go over to the next Black Ops game. At a minimum, the crossover operators, because I feel like, all right, like, you know, I don't want to see Ghost. I don't want to see Price. I don't want to see Soap in Black Ops 6, but like I'm fine with seeing like Homelander or Rick, you know, because it's like they're gonna add those goofy crossovers anyway. So it's like just at least let me use the ones from the past 2 years. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But storyline characters I don't think should be in there, which is like, I know it's kind of ironic. It's like, oh, you don't want characters in the actual Call of Duty universe, but you want like random crossovers. So it's like, yeah, because like
right,
those don't make sense either way. You know what I mean? They don't make sense even if they're in the era. But anyway,
I mean, the thing is, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So I'm not trying to say, oh, my opinion's right and someone else's is wrong. But the thing about the argument that I see when it's about carry forward, it's like, oh, why would you not want all your content that you paid for to be usable in every COD? It's like, I don't feel like people that say that know what they're really asking for. Because if you fluff up Black Ops 6 with Modern Warfare blueprints, operators, and all this crazy shit, like the game itself loses its identity a lot. Excuse me, and really takes away from just what Treyarch's probably going for with that game, which is, again, a fresh start, still integrated with Warzone. You could probably still use your Modern Warfare content in Warzone even next year, but the game itself is meant to be like a sequel to Cold War. It's the first Treyarch game in a couple of years. They have a 4-year development cycle. Why would they want to fluff up their game with content that was made in 2 other Call of Duty titles? That was for 2 other Call of Duty titles. I don't even see the argument for that. I don't even understand it.
Especially guns. Like I don't want guns. I think that's so stupid. I think if you add like the 150 plus guns, Modern Warfare era guns, like, yeah, there's no way that would suck. But
I don't even know how that would make sense. And what it would probably be is a case where it's like all the Modern Warfare weapons just aren't viable anyway. They would make the Black Ops weapons meta regardless. So it's like, why would you want Modern Warfare content to be in there for no reason? Which is probably going to break the game more than anything. You can go off on a tangent for an hour talking about this. Like,
yeah, I see someone said in the chat, it said you're fine with looking like that, but not playing with cool operators we know and love. Make it make sense. I mean, yeah, I said I know it's hypocritical, but I feel like those crossover operators don't make sense regardless. You know what I mean? So it's like, and they're gonna add crazy crossovers in Black Ops 6 anyway. So it's like just let us use the crossovers we already have.
There's gonna be a conversation though. It's like if the Haunting comes out for MW3, and then you have Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. People are gonna have access to them for multiplayer for like a couple of weeks, not even, depending on when the Haunting starts. Maybe have them in Warzone forever, but then you'll be moving on to a brand new Call of Duty less than a few weeks later after the Haunting, and you can't use any of those really badass operators you just spent money for. That's why there's more of an argument to be like, yeah, let's bring over celebrity crossover ones, skins. That's it. That's really what we're thinking here. But
it also comes into question, like, and this will be the last thing we say on it, because obviously we can talk about this for
yeah.
I mean, I said this guy said man wants Nicki Minaj but not Ghost. I mean, no, I don't want Ghost in the game, but they're going to add people like Nicki Minaj, like Homelander, regardless. You know what I mean? You're gonna have all your Black Ops themed operators, so it's like, you know, that's gonna be set and done. I'm mostly just saying it because I know that's what people want. That's what the majority of people want. They want to be able to use their crossover skins.
Yeah, everybody that bought. I mean, I think on the comments of any video or tweet about Rick Grimes, for example, everyone's like, "I want to bring this to round base next year." Everyone said
exactly.
That. There's not one comment that did it. Yeah.
And I think then it raises the question, like, okay, there's some, like, for example, the Warhammer crossover ones, the Godzilla crossover skins, those are just cosplay skins, and I don't think those ones would carry over because they're actually like MW3 operators. Exactly. It would only be voiced celebrity operators like Rick Grimes, like Homelander, like Starlight, like Snoop Dogg 21, like all those. But everything else would just all the cosplay skins would sadly have to be nuked.
For sure. I mean, we say nuked, but they'll probably still be usable in Warzone, and it's a different 100%. Discussion. It's a different discussion to have to be like, oh, should Warzone also vault MW content when Black Ops integrates so that it's like a fresh new map and all this Black Ops stuff? Who knows? They probably won't, because I think there'll be a point in time where they have to vault stuff though. Because what are you gonna have, like 2 MW games, 2 Black Ops games, then what in 2026 with Modern Warfare 4, whatever Infinity Ward's doing? Do you integrate a 5th game to Warzone, or do you finally, hit a reset, release a new Warzone, or just vault old stuff? Could go off on that forever. But what I was gonna get at with the weapon prestige camos is that it kind of fuels the conversation we've had a couple times on this podcast now, which is that Black Ops 6 has some shoes to fill when it comes to post-launch support. Do you think that game, on top of weekly challenges, daily challenges, events, amps, they could do aftermarket parts again through like the operator mods from Black Ops 4, of course, but put all that aside for a second. What about weapon prestige camos now? Because that's a whole new grind that probably is best saved for like post-launch. Don't release that day one. Maybe save that for like season 1 or 2. But do you think Treyarch will bring in features like that? Did Sledgehammer just set a precedent for all studios to add this? Or is that a Sledgehammer exclusive feature for this game? What are you thinking?
It's almost a blessing and a curse how good MW3 is when it comes to the support we've gotten, because now, without a doubt, we've been spoiled as a community. We've been treated very well when it comes to post-launch content, multiplayer maps, camos, the grind, weekly challenges, weekly events. And I feel like if the next game doesn't have all of that and more, there's gonna be some tension there. And I agree with it. I agree with that sentiment as well. I think you sort of, especially for Black Ops case, you have 4 years to make a game, and it doesn't have half the features that a game that was made in 16 months did. I think that it's like okay, like where did all this time start going? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like now with these prestige camos, like that is even bigger shoes to fill. Like I thought it was already big with
already
weekly challenges, weekly events, and just like everything else of the sort. Like, even the armory unlock system, like I don't even think that's a really bad system. Like especially for guns I need to level up in Warzone, like I can just choose to get that attachment without having to get it to level 25 or whatever, right?
Well, they overhauled it too. I think people that don't like that system, like obviously you're entitled to your opinion, you don't have to like it, but they've overhauled it from what it was day one, and day one it wasn't very good, and they fixed it to where now it actually makes sense. Like, oh, they want to add in new field upgrades and new equipment, or you want to unlock crazy attachments early, use the armory system, which means completing daily challenges, winning matches of MP, or doing 3 contracts in zombies, and you can get your things unlocked instantly. That's a cool system. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I just feel like it's just gonna lack a lot of those features. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it just kind of carries on. It at least has all the same sort of stuff, because like the preseason, even for MW3, that had weekly camo events, it had challenge events, and it had the weekly challenges as well.
Exactly.
Like that was all in preseason, so it's like I'll probably wait until like season 1 to give my assessment on that for Black Ops 6, but because like maybe Sledgehammer was just cracked, and maybe Sledgehammer just locked in and just like decided like, okay, we're gonna make a whole bunch of the best systems Call of Duty's ever seen.
Indeed.
And that would suck for it never to be done again. Like I don't know, I'm worried about that, because that's going to cause a lot of controversy, and then it's going to be like another Black Ops Cold War situation where people are going back and saying like, oh, this COD was so good, and it's like some people were still hating on it back then. Still calling it a DLC, still calling it lazy, yeah. Well, I have a couple of responses to that. First off, you mentioned locking in, right? And I know there's rumors that Sledgehammer, I mean, it's not even really rumors anymore because the season 3 creator call kind of confirmed it, but it's been said some people at Sledgehammer are working on MW Zombies right now. They weren't previously. It was Treyarch, but Treyarch had to step away to work on Black Ops 6. We know this. Well, imagine, I had this written down actually, which is funny, but we'll talk about it now. Imagine if Sledgehammer also had to make a third mode for this game, whether it was zombies, whether it was a DMZ, whether it was whatever the experience was, Extinction, for example. How would multiplayer support or just general MW3 support have looked then? Because what I'm getting at is, for a game like Black Ops 6, Treyarch will be in charge of presumably campaign, obviously not after launch though. Or Raven, yeah.
Yeah, or Raven. Then multiplayer and zombies. Whereas Sledgehammer this time around is just working on what, multiplayer? They did campaign, but I think that was a big collab with Infinity Ward, if I'm not mistaken. And Treyarch did the zombies. So they've had more time to introduce crazy new systems and features like this, whereas Treyarch might not. But you can counter that by saying, oh, well, they had a 4-year development cycle,
Exactly.
so they should have had time. And that's correct. Now, what I'll also say is, looking at all the new features that have come out in Modern Warfare 3, even if they don't come out within the launch window or Season 1 for Black Ops 6, what's cool is that if at any point Black Ops 6 gets dry or Black Ops 6 is lacking XYZ, we can always say, hey, for the next season, at Treyarch on Twitter, this will be good to add, or here's something you guys can add. There may always be something that they'll be able to incorporate in Black Ops 6 that was in Modern Warfare 3, so that we're not at a point where it's like, okay, the game's good, but what else could they add? How do you make this better? We'll have like a plethora of items on a list that we can say, hey, these things were in the COD last year, bring them into Black Ops 6 this year. Hopefully, we don't have to wait like till the end of the cycle though for those features.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't want to wait till Season 4 Reloaded to get weekly challenge events. Like.
Well, maybe not weekly challenge events, but what about like the weapon prestige camos? I feel like that is a similar type of content drop to like Obsidian from Modern Warfare 19, where you don't want to drop that day one anyway. You want to drop that halfway in the cycle when people out there already have all the mastery camos, or by that point are close to getting them all, so that you keep the game fresh that way. If you drop that day one, people are going to speed run through that in like 2 weeks, and then it's like, oh, no content, dead game. Like, you kind of want to save stuff like that for later on, but not other things like weekly challenges and events.
Well, then I mean, Sledgehammer has already sort of solved that issue. Just release a new one every season.
Right. I guess that's the case, because I mean that is a good point, because they did. I mean, that's a good point. I'm just still thinking like to start that grind, maybe not at launch. At least maybe season one, like, or maybe do one every season. Then start it at season 1.
Yeah, just see season one, and then like, okay,
yeah, that is a good point.
One, and then. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Sledgehammer thought about that, and obviously, like, if you were to release that, say, near the start of the cycle, they know for a fact people are grinders, people are going to speedrun that content, and to counteract that, they're like, okay, you're getting a new one every season, done.
Sure, and it's a crazy grind, because maybe there'll be a grand reward for doing all of them, but so it's a per weapon basis, right? So if I get the BAL 27 max level, then I get 150,000 weapon XP. I get, what is it called? What is the new animated camo called for prestige?
One trick.
One trick, excuse me. When you get the one trick camo for the BAL, you have it. Then the next season, so in this case, season 4, there'll be another prestige camo added. I don't know if it'll be at launch or reloaded. And in order to get that camo, you have to have unlocked the one trick one from season 3. So there's like a progression system with that. Like, you can only get the next camo if you got the previous one. That's crazy cool. Maybe there'll be a reward for doing seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6 prestige camos. You get one big one after that, or they can take it further, get all those and have Interstellar unlocked, and there's so many ways they can do it. That's wild.
I think they're going to be different challenges every prestige camo. I don't think it's going to stay 150,000 XP.
Good point. Good point.
And I was also thinking, we're starting one trick as a gold camo. There's 4 camos total coming, and that is perfectly setting up a gold, or like gilded or whatever it is, forged, priceless, and interstellar looking master,
like variants of those colors, or variants of those.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see.
So, I mean, I guess we'll see with season 4 if it's gonna be a reloaded update, or maybe it'll be a launch update. I'd assume it should be a launch update, right, instead of a reloaded update. But
I wouldn't mind if it was reloaded. Just spice up mid-season updates a little bit.
I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, very curious to see if they're all going to be if they're going to be based off of is the next one going to be more silver themed, right? And I would like to like really experiment with it, or who knows, maybe that's actually no, it wouldn't, because we already know that the new electric camo that leaked, which looks insane, is a special camo unlocked through a hidden challenge at some point. But I was gonna say maybe one of those camos is that would be crazy. if one of those camos was a prestige challenge, that would be amazing.
Am I the only one that thinks this way? I probably am, but it's every time I see really cool camos in MW3 or whatever game, I'm always like, damn, how could they top this in the next game? But they always do. So I'm tripping here, but it's every time I see badass camos, I'm like, that either looks better than the mastery ones, or is the best free animated camo they've ever added. How can we beat this later? And they always go ahead and release better ones. It's crazy. Like I remember I said this about Ghoulie. I said it about some of the recent event
Magma.
camos, Magma, Binary Morality. There's been so many good camos, dude. But yeah, that lightning one that leaked out. I have a video coming out about that in the next few hours. That camo looks ridiculous. But I know it was leaked out to be a special camo, which means it's like the high trip molecules weed camo, which is only unlocked through like a secret challenge of sorts. Then again, though, am I crazy or is the Rotten Inferno camo in the wrong category? That's in the special category too, but that was a weekly challenge unlock. I swear the other weekly challenge camos are in the event camo category. So I think that category system's kind of broken. So who actually knows how they're going to release this lightning one? But yeah, it looks amazing.
It'd be cool if it was an event, but I think it's going to be either we might be looking at the season 4 weekly challenge camo. That could be it.
Sure.
It could be, they add a new mode of some sort. You win the mode, you get the camo, or it's maybe through a challenge event. We don't even know at this point. Like you said, the camo thing could be absolutely just screwed, or the camo categorization.
Yes, of the camos.
Of the camos is wrong. So who knows what it is. I guess we have to wait and see, but that one's cool. That one's amazing.
I didn't even know about this UAV event camo until you tweeted it. I didn't know that was even leaked. I've gone through a lot of the rumors that have been posted on Twitter, but I actually missed this clip here. There's going to be actual challenges to complete. Apparently it's not a XP focused event, which is great because it's a 2-week long event which starts this Wednesday, May 8th. I have a separate video coming out about that soon. That camo looks pretty cool as well, and it's animated. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff on the way. We'll get back to rumors and psycho leaks later on in this podcast. But before we jump into Black Ops 6, I do want to touch on zombies for a second. So zombies got a pretty impressive update as of a couple days ago with Season 3 Reloaded. It was more content than what we got in Season 2, and it's kind of on par with what we got in Season 1 in terms of having more to do than just an act mission, just a rift, just the schematic unlocks. We'll talk about the cutscene as we talk about Black Ops 6 later, but gameplay-wise, content-wise, it was really cool. I saw some criticism like, oh, the act mission was underwhelming and the boss fight was too easy. I don't really expect much from these act missions, to be honest with you, like difficulty-wise, even though that's kind of hypocritical to say because Season 1's act mission was kind of difficult with the worm. So maybe they could make them more difficult on par with that. I would prefer that. But they're such guided missions, like how hard could they be? You know what I mean? There's not much they can really do with those. But you get your first attuned relic from beating that mission. Then you have to get the other relics over in Urzikstan. And the quest to get them is actually pretty cool. The hints they gave us in the Crater Call completely lined up, by the way. You need Death Perception for one of them. And then they hinted like body parts in the call. They hinted at a head, a foot, and a hand. Those are in the new Rift. We'll talk about that in a second. But the quest to get the new items is cool. What's different about the upgrade process for the relics, though, is that you have to use a side Easter egg that exists independently of the new Dark Ether Rift. You have to use a side Easter egg to upgrade the relics. Isn't that's very different? We've never really seen them utilize like a side quest for multiple reasons, not just for whatever the reward is for that, but also to then, help complete another quest like that. It's really unique how they did that. I like that idea. I like that concept. But the flaw with that side quest is just like what we talked about with the Warlord fortresses inside of the map. If another squad in your game messes with this new side quest, which we're calling the tier 3 triangle, that's what we're going to call it. If another squad in your game is messing with that, you just can't do anything. You just can't take part in the upgrade process for your relics. You have to wait for them to finish what they're doing, or they can grief you. They could ruin your process of upgrading your relics. They can come steal things from you. They can kill the zombies when they're not supposed to. So many things go wrong with that that it just has me wondering, right? Is that just a bad design choice? Is that just like is that an oversight? Like, what do you think that is when they have steps like that, or when they have features like that other human beings can ruin for you while you're trying to do something? What do you think?
I guess that kind of just goes with the entire nature of the mode. Like, people can be weird and they can grief if they really wanted to. Like just with like the the escort contracts, like people blowing up the vehicles before the player trying to do the contract can get in it. Like
Has that happened to you? I've never seen that happen, by the way. That's so cringe,
it
dude.
happens to a lot of people, yeah. And
Oh,
there's also a new grief going around where people are waiting by the rune like altar things for people to place down the items so they can go in that inventory of that little altar, pick it up and place it themselves.
why does that work? That shouldn't even work, man.
So then they
Wow.
can steal the portal unlock from the person. Like I saw a clip of it on Reddit. Someone did it. Someone was
You
putting all
should
the
tweet
pieces
that.
in, and
That's terrible.
someone was putting all the pieces in, and then somebody stole the relics in the altars and put them in himself, and he didn't get the portal unlocked.
That's for the new. You're talking about the new rift, by the way, right?
The new one.
That's tough. That like the funny thing about the challenge with this rift unlock is upgrading the relics because you're praying that nobody's in tier 3 with you while you're doing it, because it's really easy. You literally have to find 3 different triangles in tier 3. And each triangle obviously has 3 points, right? Each of those points will pinpoint towards a rune, like a purple rune. Shoot all 3 of those runes in any order, and then creates these light effects a couple feet away. You then have to stand in a perfect position for those light effects to form a triangle. Stand in that. It lets you sacrifice your artifact, or you don't have to. If you don't, you could just initiate that little side quest, which spawns in a bunch of zombies, forms a circle around you. You just have to kill the zombies in that circle, souls collect. If you sacrifice an artifact, it'll then make you do the same thing, kill zombies in a circle. But as you're doing that, it's upgrading your artifact. Then once you've gotten enough kills or enough time, actually, you have to get enough kills. You can't just wait for the time to run out. Once you get enough kills, it'll then upgrade that artifact that you sacrificed, and they'll spawn a little HVT as well with a different name and whatnot. It's pretty cool. You got to do that 3 total times for the 3 relics that you grab in Urzikstan. And you do that to 3 different triangles that are located in tier 3. So it's pretty cool because if you don't sacrifice an artifact and you just do the little tier 3 triangle quest, it'll give you a guaranteed legendary ether tool, a guaranteed, I think, tier 3 pack crystal, which you can stow and bring to your next game or use right then and there. So that's a really badass side quest for just speedrunning through having to, get money and upgrade your character. You could just go do that quest, be decked out, and go do what you got to do, or stow it for your next match. Or you can use that quest to upgrade your artifact and then get into the rift. I love that. I love that concept. But what you were just saying about people griefing you and trolling you, like, that sucks, man. So you just got to pray you're either in with people that are friendly, that aren't going to rob you, or they just aren't in tier 3 when you're trying to do this. But yeah, on top of that, they did increase the stash size to 20. Better than nothing. And schematic cooldowns are live. Now, somebody tested it. I saw somebody with Tombstone had like 500k. They literally exfilled with 500k, and I think it cooled down like 40 hours for somebody. Wow. I don't think there's a cap. I think it's an uncapped schematic cooldown. If you legit just have like unlimited points and you exfil with it, it'll cool down all your schematics. That's cool. They also got to figure out a way to cool down your schematics if you exfil with like a dupe. That would be nice. I know that's a little more rare, but yeah. So those are cool features that got added. The wallet's not in yet. I just wonder, right? Will the wallet break schematic cooldowns though? Because if you just stash, there'll probably be a cap on the wallet, but can you stash $1 million and then spawn in exfil right away? I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do that with the wallet, but the Rift is cool. It's Zarqwa Hydroelectric from Al Mazrah. The contracts in the Rift are different. It's not a series of bunnies you have to find randomly. Now there's like a yellow light in the sky beaming down on like a pillar so you can see where they're all at. That's awesome. Upon initiating each pillar though, it'll give you a zombie limb. Each one gives you a different limb. It's either a head, a foot, or a hand. The head, I believe when you grab it, as you get headshots on zombies, it highlights them in yellow, and you can shoot their heads, and it causes an explosion once you kill them. And there's like a big radius effect. It's awesome. The foot gives you like super sprint, like very fast sprint. And the hand, I'm not sure what the hand does. People say it gives you nukes, but I have to test that a little bit more. And same contracts though, Bounty, Escort, and Outlast. So that's pretty cool. And then upon going ahead and beating each contract, there's a chance you get the new schematics. Do you think they should be guaranteed unlocks for the schematics though, or do you like the idea of like RNG per reward rift? Because that's frustrating. I went 3 for 3 with Dalek. I don't know how we got that lucky. Lego only got, I think, 1 or 2 of them on our first run. I think maybe just 1 of them. It was very weird.
It's I think it should be guaranteed. I think it should be at least guaranteed 1 schematic one new schematic per contract. I don't think that's a crazy thing because I haven't what one day I haven't got the Mags of Holding schematic because even though I went through the season 2 rift and did all the contracts there, I got two of the same schematic, right? So that's just not a fun mechanic. It should be guaranteed, I think. Um, Especially for the Elder Dark Ether. Like, come on, like it's already hard enough to kind
Yeah,
of.
that if it was the regular ether, I could understand, but the elder one, like that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. What's cool though is that on top of that cool side Easter egg on Urzikstan that I think is really helpful, they've also gone ahead and released a secret boss fight through the new Dark Ether Rift. You could do this in either the regular or elder versions of this Dark Ether. You could initiate a secret boss fight. So upon going to the new Rift, I recommend doing this on the regular version, not the elder version, because you have less time to play in the elder version. After you beat all 3 contracts, there'll be spores, 3 total, or 4 total, but 3 that you have to shoot in different areas of the map. They look like the spore control spores that are on big map. Shoot those 3 after you've done the first 3 contracts. And after that, there'll be a big spore, a giant 4th big spore in the middle of the map. Once you shoot that one, it spawns in a boss. It's that disciple variant from the Act mission. He's really easy to beat. I'd hope for them to maybe beef him up a little bit, just a little bit harder. It's the same as the Act mission. You shoot him a little bit. He then spawns in a minion. You kill that minion, then you can shoot the disciple again. And upon doing that, you unlock a blueprint. I'm like, that is honestly one of the coolest free blueprints we've gotten in all of COD. Like, genuinely an animated free blueprint. Like, how many animated free blueprints are there, by the way? Can you think of? I can't even think of that many, or if any at all.
The weed one was one.
The weed one was animated?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. The blaze up one. You're right. It was for the SMG. What's another? I can't.
Off the top of my head, I mean, I know recently, it was the blaze up event.
Yeah, that's a good example. But this one here, this blueprint's actually really cool, man. I believe it's for a ram, if I'm not mistaken. Smoke Signals, it's called. It's a purple theme blueprint. Smoke emits from it and looks good when you blend it with other camos in the game. So I'm really impressed that it's a free one. And I think, Zombies as a mode needs more unlocks like this. Just more rewards that you can take into other game modes, but you have to play Zombies to unlock that reward. I love stuff like this. And has good attachments on it. You get a chainsaw aftermarket part as well. It looks amazing. Again, you have to beat that secret boss in the new Dark Ether Rift to unlock the blueprint. So love seeing stuff like that. I was mentioning this before. I'm like season 1, add in a new Easter egg on big map, like the Red Worm. Add in more than just the Rift. And this update kind of did that. It added in more than just, hey, beat the Act mission, get in the Rift, and get contracts done. There's actually more to do this time, which I'm really happy with. So I made a separate video about that. Didn't want to squeeze all that into the schematic video. So yeah, that's what's going on. Obviously, you mentioned Warzone a couple of minutes ago in regards to that weird reload bug. It's only affecting Warzone. I'm kind of weirded out by the fact that Rebirth infill strikes kind of just quietly went live. I thought they were going to be marketed a bit more and kind of like, released on a certain day, but they might have just been live the whole time. We just didn't know it, but they're just quietly there. You have a chance of seeing an infill strike, either destroys lighthouse, water tower, or roof of prison. Rebirth Loaded's very fun, the new LTM. It just lets you use your loadout. Very cool stuff. Also, the heavy armor public event. You get to have, imagine 3-plate temper vest. That's insane. Like, that's very fun. So play a little bit of that. It's been fun. There's 2 secret rewards in the new Rebirth mode. I think by playing a game and winning a game, you can get a charm and a vehicle skin, respectively. We'll get back to Warzone bunkers later on because it's connected to Black Ops. Let's jump into Black Ops 6. Unless you had something else you wanted to say about Reloaded real quick.
No.
Yeah, everything's been covered, I'd say, on the channel and on Detonated. There's still a few more things I want to make videos about, but a lot of the main things were covered pretty well, so I'm really proud of that. Going into Black Ops 6, we're gonna have a big discussion about why the game is called Black Ops 6, because I can guarantee you for the next year and a half straight, we're gonna constantly get comments. Where's Black Ops 5? Why is it called Black Ops 6? We'll jump into that. Let's touch on one of the earlier topics from the beginning of the week, which sparked up a lot of controversy, which has since died down because people aren't going to care about this, especially once the game gets marketed and released. It's not something I defend or agree with, but it's something that will get brushed under the rug because no one's going to care. There was drama because people found on a Treyarch job listing that they're hiring more AI engineers to work on this game. And I understand from an artist's perspective, and you're an artist, so you'll have a stronger opinion than mine. from an artist perspective, it's really scary to see job listings like this because instead of hiring more artists, they're going to hire more AI engineers so the AI can form the art you see in the game at the main menu, for the bundles, for the calling cards. It's been a controversy that I would say hasn't been talked about too much last few days, but earlier in the week it was. What are your initial thoughts on AI being used for Black Ops 6? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's just a product of, sort of getting with the times and just things to using things to your advantage, whether the community likes it or not. Obviously, the community's been very vocal that they do not like it already. The online community, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think this is going to be a thing that if they are going forward with using it, there's nothing we can really do to stop it. If people want to cut corners and make money that way, I don't think a few people online are gonna sort of change that unless it gets so bad. Unless if like the casual audience starts to care about it, then I can maybe see that. But you're talking about the online community. Obviously, there's probably the majority of people that actually care about that because I don't see like a 46-year-old or like caring about like, oh, there's AI art. Like, someone who just comes home and plays Call of Duty for like 3 hours or an hour a day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see them really caring about that, and that's the majority of the fan base. And I'm sure you can agree. Um,
I definitely agree with that because your average consumer is not going to have any clue as to how the game was made, who made it, besides like, the main developer. They're not going to know, the specifics with each department. That's just a fact, right?
and I
Now,
think
yeah,
now, obviously, I would say if I had it my way, I'd probably just be like, okay, just have people make art. Like
of
just
course.
I don't know why it has to be this big thing, but like I said, it's people want to make money, people want to cut corners, and if that's a way they see fit, money talks more than emotion in some cases, which is how the world works. But what are you gonna do about it?
Now, the issue I see from this controversy is that we're not like I think anything that goes wrong with Black Ops 6, whether it's with maps, whether it's
Mm,
with anything, any aspect of the game, no matter what, people are constantly going to be like, "Oh, it's AI. Oh, it's AI's fault. Oh, this is what happens when you use AI." I feel like that's just going to create a bigger echo chamber on social media. But either way, no matter what echo chamber exists about this topic, all that represents the minority of the COD community, right? You're not going to see a majority of people saying, "Oh, AI, AI." We also don't know who made this decision to use more AI, right? We also don't know what it's going to be used for. That's the best part about this. We don't know what it's going to be used for. What if it literally is just like small pieces of art within battle pass menus or bundles or
or like playlist pictures or
right, even though I wouldn't want it to be that way. What if it's just that and it's not anything else? People are worried about map design, cinematic cutscenes, whatever, and I would hate to see AI take that over, but I don't know if people remember this or not, and this is why I said, not that I didn't want the Microsoft acquisition to happen, because I think there were a lot of good reasons behind that occurring. What I mentioned back when it got announced was we don't even know what the consequences are yet for that acquisition. We don't even know what will
yeah.
change, especially for COD or for a lot of things. And you've been seeing a few changes as of lately with layoffs and department shifts and other games being greenlit, but Microsoft made it very clear a little while ago in court documents that they want to get into AI. They want to utilize AI to get more projects out there. So is it them that is saying, hey, for Black Ops and for COD going forward, use AI? Or is it higher ups and corporate at, Treyarch, Activision? Total question mark. We have no idea. So it's hard to really pinpoint what this means or what it's going to mean for other games. It's a very interesting topic. But what I would hope for is that artists and any
Well,
position really
there's
doesn't get jeopardized by the use of AI. That's what I'd hope for.
well, I think I think in this case, which with what the job listing is specifically stating with AI, is a little bit different than say like the ethical use of AI, which was used for the new Spider-Verse movie, like the animated Spider-Verse movie. So I don't know. AI kind of gets a bad rap because there is some implications of it that is ethical, isn't just uh going into a random AI website, typing something in, and using that for a AAA title. Um, there is some implications of AI that can help artists and can help animators and stuff like that. But I think the way that the job listing was uh, was read or was presented as, it's not really that. Um, which I could see the outrage there.
Definitely. And that's the thing. Like, I would never want to see like the script or the dialogue in a new Call of Duty campaign to have been made by AI. I'm really hoping that whatever tools get used that are AI related help the developers reduce crunch, but not to where they eliminate positions for people, and not to where the game feels like a hollow corporate product instead of a passionate game made
Well,
by real human beings. I hope that's clear.
yeah, I think it's funny in the job listing it said like polish art made by humans and AI. It's like bro, we're so like in the future and I don't even know it. We have to differentiate
What's made by a
art.
human?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I read that. I thought that was hilarious. That they have to like specify that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but at the end of the day,
Skynet.
at the end of the day, like they are. It's also ironic that you just said like, oh, people lose jobs on this, but like it's funny how they're hiring people to do AI. You know what I mean?
It's right.
Like,
So at least they're hiring people
I,
to engineer that. But then it's like, what about the people that would have otherwise filled that position by making actual art or doing X, Y, Z?
it's just ironic.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, they did a bunch of layoffs, but now they're going to hire new people for AI. I don't know, man. It's a little early to tell, but just got to pray that, like I said, it doesn't dramatically impact how games are made in a negative sense. Now, what also ended up getting announced officially, I swear it was like 8 a.m. By coincidence, I had just woken up. I don't, my girlfriend got a phone call at like, I forgot what time it was, 8 a.m. something. By coincidence, it woke me up. And I was thankful that happened because it was breaking news. Microsoft announced, I know The Verge even reported on this, that an Xbox showcase is happening June 9th. It was rumored for a while anyway. We already knew this, but got confirmed. And it said that during the direct and after the direct, there will be information about the next Call of Duty. And what do you know? On the actual poster advertising the showcase event, you could see Project Cerberus. Now, obviously, we had a three-headed Cerberus in old school zombies, Mob of the Dead. I think we saw it again in Blood of the Dead as well. COD Mobile Zombies had a three-headed Cerberus. It's been an iconic thing to see in, Treyarch Zombies. So that being the placeholder logo for Black Ops 6 or the official logo, it could be the official logo too. I'm not sure if it's just like an early logo they're going to use, or will that be like the branded icon that you see everywhere? Who knows? We're getting a showcase Sunday, June 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. UK. The Verge went ahead and said Microsoft is teasing the next Call of Duty as the next installment of a beloved franchise. What do you think that means? It's definitely Black Ops. They also said the game is targeting late October for a release date, which is really cool. So,
Which is season 6. Season 6 for MW3 is going to be really interesting then.
I'm betting we get shorter seasons then for season 4, 5, and 6 because I'm trying to figure out how the Haunting would work then, because ironically, the Haunting would literally be released much before Halloween, and then Black Ops 6 comes out before Halloween anyway. So it's like the Haunting, I wonder how they're going to do it this year. I really do. We're going to have a Haunting in like September or early October. I don't know. We'll see how they do it. But it just has to be like, if you look at a calendar right now, I swear the game has to be released October 25th. Because if you do it, let's see. Yeah, October 25th is a Friday, because games come out on Fridays, obviously. You almost have to do the 25th. The 18th, I think, is too early. I think that's way too early. And you don't want to have a BO4 scenario where it needed a little bit of extra time in the oven to get QA tested and have bugs ironed out. You don't want it to drop too early. BO4 was October 12th, I think, and Modern Warfare 19 was October 25th as well. So we'll see what the release date is. Yep.
Jessup said in chat, are we worried about GTA 6 steamrolling Black Ops 6 mid-life cycle? I mean, no. They're completely different genres, different games. Maybe a lot of Call of Duty players will play GTA 6. I'm not doubting that. I myself included will probably play GTA 6, but I don't know. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I think Activision made a really big mistake trying to get Black Ops 4 out before Red Dead Redemption 2 back in 2018. Because I don't think there was no like correlation between the two. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is a Rockstar game. People are going to play it, but you're also Call of Duty, right? Um,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
obviously that led to a plethora of issues, crashes, game released in unfinished state because they made that that um, that release so much earlier to try and get closer to or ahead of the Red Dead Redemption 2.
Another Rockstar game.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like it will Activision higher ups be scared? Yes, 100%. Do I think they should really do anything about that? Like they did in BO4 or now Microsoft higher ups. I don't know. I don't think that would be the right choice because we saw that worked out in BO4. But Black Ops is Black Ops.
I get it. I get it if Microsoft is trying to cash in, they want to get this game out ASAP, but release a solid game that's tested, has a good amount of content, and gets healthy post-launch support. People will play it regardless of what other Grand Theft Autos or Red Dead Redemptions release, during the same year. And I also want to say, I don't even think GTA 6 is coming out when people say it will. I don't even think it's happening in 2025. I think it's going to get delayed again.
Another year.
Yeah, I don't even think they started like actual development. Obviously, some pre-production was done, years ago, but I don't even think it got into heavy development until like way after Red Dead 2. I don't even think that game is anywhere near, released. They revealed it, announced it, but I think that's far off. Which I don't agree with, but that's just my theory. I don't agree with them delaying it any further because people have been waiting for that. But yeah, if they want to drop that in 2026 or 7, fine. But what sparked a big discussion about Black Ops was the redacted parts of the teaser image. Obviously, the big bar at the top says Call of Duty. We just know that. If you look at how many characters are in the term Call of Duty, it kind of fits in that redacted term. The bottom redacted bar, though, at the very bottom, believe is Activision. You can kind of make out like an A that's forming, so that's definitely Activision.
Yep.
But the middle redacted bar, I don't know if it's just me, I could very clearly see OPS, like Ops. Right?
I can clearly see Black Ops, yeah.
Right. So it says Black Ops, without a doubt. But there's space for like 1 or 2 more characters at the end of that black bar. I think reasonably, we all were like, okay, that's a V. It's either a V or an X because it looks like one character. And V doesn't make sense. I know people out there have been debating in my comments, probably over on Detonated's comments, about what this game needs to be called. Now, considering it looks like it's just one character that fits, I'm going to say I think X would really work better than V because the game is, internally known as T10. It's Treyarch's 10th game. And although it's like, oh, how could they call it Black Ops X? That's weird. That would be something different. I just think it would be pretty clean. BOX box.
Yeah, it would be different. I think Cold War did really well in kind of moving away from the numbers because you have Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, okay, you're gonna do 5, and then you're gonna have 6 now. Like it just starts. It's like Final Fantasy 14. It just
it's weird after a while.
It's so big, and I think Cold War did a really good job in sort of moving away from that. And I don't know. I'm kind of really sad to see that the rumors and everyone talking about it is it's just 6. I'm really sad about seeing that. Because I don't know, maybe it's not that. Maybe it will be something cool like X or something different, or maybe that entire thing just is throwing us off, just getting conversation started.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to be called Black Ops because it just needs to be. If it's a sequel to Cold War, then you just kind of they could always pull a World at War and be like, oh, Call of Duty, blah blah blah, but it's a Black Ops sequel. They could do that, but what would be more popular and what would look better and sound better? Black Ops something. Now, I do want to see a Modern Warfare 4 one day, but I do agree with you about the number getting too high to where it's like, okay, that just becomes overwhelming and weird for people. People are like, oh, another one. People start getting weird about the numbers getting higher and higher. I like it if it's Black Ops something. Even though Black Ops Cold War was kind of a mouthful at first, we all warmed up to it. I never thought the game was going to be called Gulf War. That just, I don't know, something about it doesn't sound right to me. It just doesn't.
That was just an easy way to market
correct
the next Black Ops game.
Correct. For us to talk about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
But people really did believe that was the name of the game. And I'm like, I never saw that being the name of the game. It's an easy way, it's an easy route they can go, but I genuinely believe Black Ops Cold War wasn't called Black Ops 5. Even though there's a logo that exists for it, by the way, there's a literal placeholder logo you were able to see in game. It's not a leak. During the beta of Cold War, there was a logo at the top right launch window, excuse me, of one of the messages of the day pop-ups. You can see a Black Ops V. Now, they could have called it Black Ops 5, but I think the numerology with Black Ops is weird because, yeah, Black Ops 1 and 2 back to back. Black Ops 3, okay, call it 3 because it's far in the future. Probably wasn't the name of the game they initially went with anyway. They kind of like slowly tie that in campaign towards the end. Black Ops 4 is a prequel to Black Ops 3, weirdly, with no jetpacks. So the 3 and 4 are weird. So then Cold War takes it back in between Black Ops 1 and 2. It still fits in the old canon. I think calling it Cold War made sense because it's not really 5, but Black Ops 4 wasn't really Black Ops 4 either then. That was the real Black Ops 3. Without getting confusing. But it was cool. Now, with this new game taking place in the 90s after Black Ops Cold War, it also almost doesn't make sense to give it a number. It should be called Black Ops something, right? As long as the game's good, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But the reason the game coming out later this fall is Black Ops 6 is because Cold War was already Black Ops 5. You can argue, oh, well, they can still call it 5 and it works. You know, I get it, but I wouldn't want the identity of Cold War to kind of be stripped away a little bit or forgotten, I should say. Not stripped away, but forgotten. Even though it doesn't really matter, not really. But 5 would be weird. That's all I'm going to say is 5 would be weird if that was the name. So
that's what I'm saying, it's just like, it just can't, like, Cold War, that's what I was saying, like, Cold War just like totally moved away from that, and it's sad that just like going back to the numbers now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really like it.
And you also can't really do like the Roman numeral either because so many people don't know what that means. And I don't know. It's probably going to be a number. I don't see it being VI, even though that would probably be clean. But what about titles? Let's talk about content for a second. I would probably always put the number 6 in a title. I would never put the Roman numeral, even though like it looks clean to put the Roman numeral. But I think for search results, algorithmically, you kind of have to put the number for your content to be pushed out there. So I'm thinking about it as a creator as well. But it's also shorter. Black Ops 6 or BO6 Zombies, Black Ops 6 Season 1. Like, let's start warming up to that a little bit for content.
Warzone 4. Black Ops 6 Season 1.
Yeah. Well,
if I see Warzone 4 this year, I'm like O'Farrell, bro.
Yeah, Warzone 3 doesn't even exist. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's I don't know. Well, it's weird. People are skipping numbers for Warzone, but why can't they skip for Black Ops? They're like, oh, there's no Black Ops 5, but it's like, where the hell's Warzone 3? There's no Warzone 3. So, like, how are people going to be saying Warzone 4 in a few months? That doesn't even make sense. But anyway, people are going to say what they want to say, but I could already foresee over the next year, oh, how is this game BO6? Like, do people not remember Cold War exists? Like, I don't know, man. Not trying to be harsh on that because people can get confused. I get it. Some things are confusing. But, yeah, the logo itself will probably be revealed shortly before the Xbox event, maybe they'll wait like till the actual Xbox showcase and say, boom, here's a logo reveal. Who knows how they're gonna do it.
They should have just I think we have some leaks about an upcoming reveal event supposedly happening before this Xbox showcase presentation. I think the purpose of that could be like, the name drop, and then it's like, everyone can then be like, okay, and so we have the Black Ops 6 reveal June 9th, because it's kind of weird. They haven't really done this in recent years for Call of Duty. It's always been a Warzone event.
Right.
It's always been, everything's been hidden up into the Warzone event. I mean, maybe not name and everything, but definitely gameplay, trailer, a deep dive, like what it seems like we're getting. That happens way later. So, maybe we're seeing the first sort of thing of Microsoft where we're going to have a situation where, you get a deep dive as the first thing, but you're not getting a Warzone event. There's not going to be like the major interactive thing like we got with MW3 or Cold War. Like, there's not going to be that. Instead, you're just getting, a sort of presentation with Xbox now. Maybe that's the first thing we're seeing from Microsoft, because
But does that replace
obviously,
COD Next? What do you think?
exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking, like, you can literally look at the views on YouTube. MW3 COD Next did nowhere near what MW2 COD Next did, in terms of viewership anyway. And higher ups, all they care about is numbers. They don't care about anything else. Um, Even if MW3 has maintained and had more players throughout the entire year, they'll just look at something like how the COD Next performed, or how a trailer performed, or whatever, right? And be like, okay, well, clearly people didn't care about this. We're just going to scrap it. And I definitely think that could be more prevalent now because of Microsoft, I think.
That's a really interesting point. I mean, like, you think Microsoft saw like what the investment costs were for COD Next MW3, and they're like, we're not doing that again. So then what do they do? Like, and I'm not trying to be biased here because I was at COD Next MW2 and 3. I'm just saying, like, how do you then release the game early or showcase early gameplay? Do you just do the traditional, like, okay, here's a showcase live stream and then wait for the beta like they used to do, or will there still be like an in-person capture event? I'm actually really curious how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think,
A lot of possibilities.
definitely things are going to be different this year, I think. And
Yeah.
I don't really have that strong of a feeling that there is going to be a COD Next, for the reasons of, the last one didn't do as well. Microsoft took over. Microsoft might have a new way they want to market things, as the Xbox. We've already seen with the Xbox showcase, the Black Ops 6 Direct, which people are kind of already calling the COD Next, is the Call of Duty Direct.
And
Um,
it's an Xbox showcase. It'll be talking about other games, right? So I guess it's a COD Next, but it's not COD focused, so to speak. It'll be a lot of people showing up just for COD, but it's very different. I mean, a part of me wants to say I'm okay with them not doing a Warzone event. I know there's one that's rumored right now, but I'm okay if they don't do that, just because I would hate for like a lot of cool details to leak out early about it, which some already have. Some details already have leaked out early for some type of announcement inside of Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
But I think it's for Warzone. But yeah, I would like a Warzone event if things don't leak out about steps and rewards and all that. But things did surface, and I was actually nervous about this a couple days ago with Reloaded, because right before Reloaded came out, I'm like, okay, I have X amount of videos. I have 4 off the top of my head I want to make, or excuse me, yeah, about 4 or 5 I want to make off the top of my head. Well, I have to postpone some of these because if there's rumors and crazy leaks about Black Ops midstream, I want to talk about that too and get coverage out on that ASAP. And that's the thing, right? As a creator, and you know this, as a creator, it's not about like, oh, rushing to be first. It's more so like you want to post things when they're relevant, when they're hot. You don't want to wait to post something and then people just don't see it. You want to make sure things get out accordingly, with quality and with effort, with passion, of course, not rushing garbage. But midstream wrote an article about all the new rumors that got found, or all the new leaks that got found about Black Ops 6. So first off, with this reveal event supposedly happening in, I want to say it's maybe this month, or will they kickstart season 4 with it? I don't know, but I think the leaks say it's a season 3 event, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Season 3 Cerberus BR reveal. Yeah.
One challenge got found called "She Never Lets Me Down," and Warzone get operator kills with an old friend. Now, midstream, my brain was already fried because of how much I was doing, but I'm like, oh, an old friend. Is it talking about, playing as, a certain character? Does it mean like, help an AI character get kills, or what does that mean? It's literally referring to like, I think a weapon that will be in Black Ops or something. We don't exactly know, but I'm speculating here.
Yep.
Get operator kills with an old friend. Presumably a pistol? I don't know, but the reward for beating this event or doing just this one challenge, I don't know, will apparently be the Sally blueprint for the 9mm Damon. That's a pistol that came out last year. The Sally that we saw in Black Ops 1. You guys know Mustang and Sally, right? So no Mustang, but I think you're gonna have 2 Sallys, and there's 6 tally marks on the blueprint. People haven't really, I feel like, dived into this too much, because these Mustang and Sally in Black Ops 1 had 8 tally marks on it. Why change it to 6? Try to think of any logical reason of why they would change it to 6. For what reason? Tell me that's not a hint for the name of the game being Black Ops 6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, they're really gonna call it 6, aren't they? That's
Yep.
insane. Because that's such like a, or maybe they're just maybe they do call it something else, and they're just alluding at the fact that this is the sixth Black Ops,
Mhm.
confirming that Black Ops 5 was Cold War, even though we know that's true anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be something
It's
like
a
that, but
it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So a challenge got found, a reward, and then it got even crazier. The pre-order bonus for Black Ops 6. An image didn't leak for it, but the text for it did. It's a wood skin. He'll be a playable operator in Modern Warfare 3. Now, will that skin? Because imagine how cool the skin could be, right? I don't know if it's zombified woods, if it's woods with like I don't know, his classic BO1 look, whatever. Imagine how cool the skin will look. Why would you not want that skin to transfer into Black Ops 6? There
especially
should be limited
especially
carry forward
pre-order,
options.
especially pre-order, like pre-order bonus stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I just can't believe that pre-order stuff before it was like pre-order to use Arthur Kingsley in Cold War, and then a month later
you're
that
not playing
becomes
that. Yeah,
irrelevant.
you're not playing that game
Yeah,
anymore.
like um,
So
yeah, especially if you're bringing something like a Woods operator, if there's multiple variants of it, which I would be shocked if there was. I mean, I guess there was multiple variants of the soap one,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't really like that skin a lot. I didn't really resonate with that. If if there it is a Woods, like it's in the files as Woods operator, like that's what it is
Literally says
for
woods. Yeah.
MW3, and I'd be kind of bummed if like I mean they have to those pre-order skins, they have to be in the next game. I really don't see them not being there on top of the base uniform the operator would have in BO6.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect example. Like that, we saw this already. You pre-order Black Ops Cold War, you get a Woods operator in Modern Warfare 2019. You're using that operator for, what, 2 months, and then you're never even touching that game again. I mean, you could obviously go in Warzone and run it, but then
Yep.
weren't there two Woods in Warzone?
Yep.
Because there was the Cold
There
War Woods and
was.
the Modern Warfare. Like that's just come on. That's just it's silly. It's redundant.
So
So
maybe that's our first confirmation of there is going to be some sort of carry forward with operators in some sort, because they knew the fault. They knew the fault of the the previous integrations, where it was like, okay, now you're having like, especially with Vanguard, you have two Car 98Ks. You have like multiple guns that are the same thing but just with different names. You know what I mean? Um, and
exactly.
that goes with operators too. Like you had a Cold War price operator, and you had a Modern Warfare price operator. You had a Modern Warfare Woods operator. You had a Black Ops Woods operator.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
yeah, I really think if there were to be some sort of like, okay, there's a Black Ops pre-order bonus, it would just be like, okay, you get this skin as a Modern Warfare 3 operator, that just has those skins in MW3, but the same skins will be in the next game with its base skin and anything else that comes in the shop. I think that's the best way to go about it, obviously.
Mm.
Um,
Because
but yeah,
it makes you, and I know you just said it a few seconds ago. It's like imagine getting these cool pre-order bonuses and these rewards, but not for the new game. Because I know there was like a badass PPSH Mastercraft for pre-ordering Vanguard. You got to use it in Cold War. That would have been cool to bring it to Vanguard too, if you wanted to. It's
especially
like
because it had the PPSH.
yeah, it was,
That's
and the
that's
game
an,
had the PPSH. Yeah,
that's another thing too, especially in Warzone, where it's like you had Cold War PPSH, you had Vanguard PPSH. It's like,
yeah. One's meta, one's not, or both suck, or both are good. It's like it's a mess, dude.
yeah.
It's a mess at that point.
Um, but yeah, I just think when it comes to the carry forward stuff, like we talked about before, like it's just I think a lot of people are sort of pushed back against it when it got announced in MW3, because people were like, "Oh, this is confirmed. It's DLC, DLC, DLC." But I know for a fact what we're going to see this year is, um, if they announce it in some sort of way, or if they don't announce it, or if they don't announce it, people are going to be like, "Well, why did we just waste all this money? Like, where's this feature? Where's this feature? I want to use my stuff. I want to use my operators." But the same people were saying it last year that it contributed to being a DLC, even though all the games are going to be added to the MW2
COD
Call of Duty
HQ. Yeah.
client, regardless. So
And what's crazy though is the challenge that I just went over for like getting kills in Warzone with an old friend. The challenge is called "She Never Let Me Down." What are the odds that next to some of the bunkers in Urzikstan with Reloaded, there's graffiti on the wall that says "She never let me down"? Is that am I tripping here, or is that a sign of like
Yeah,
some connection?
that's
That's
pretty.
that's weird. There's a
Mm,
song called that. I don't know if that means that's like a song they're gonna use for like a reveal trailer. I haven't even listened to the song yet. I have a video coming out talking about this soon. Then I'll listen to it before I make the video, and I'll let people know what I think. But the bunkers could be connected somehow. I mean, there's that weird rebirth bunker that you can open now if you scan your key card for 27 days. Like bunker opens at the headquarters. One of the secret ones we saw in Warzone 1, and inside you get like an unidentified item. I believe it's from Perseus, and it'll give you cash like every 30 seconds. It's like an unlimited money reward. So I don't know if these bunkers are trying to tell us something about uh, Black Ops. Are the bunkers gonna be used for an event of some sort, and that's why they're telling us to open up the bunkers now because they're gonna be used later. We need to get familiar with where they're at. I don't know, but the bunkers are cool. The bunkers, it's cool that you can open them now. You just got to do a contract, and once you do it, it'll give you a access key card. You can go to any of the bunkers around Urzikstan, and you can open them up. Inside, nothing special. It's just loot. I mean, it's cool for plunder to get a bonus, I guess, or a bit of a boost with your loot. But hopefully, they add more in the future. But ironically, right before all this Black Ops 6 marketing started, I had made a video talking about all the teasers that people out there missed for Black Ops 6, and in that video, I mentioned first off a literal story teaser from the season 3 battle pass operator Hush. It says that he was actually in the outskirts of Mogadishu when he was recruited by Cortec. Mogadishu was a major point of interest during the Gulf War. And that obviously is connected to the Black Hawk Down incident, which I believe the new Black Ops game is going to cover with like a Perseus twist or something like that. So that's a big teaser. The Battle of Mogadishu from 1993. What are the odds that just got mentioned in season 3's operator bio? And then you can go further with all the actors teasing on Instagram that they're filming something. The actor who played Weaver from Cold War, the one who played Sims, Sims as well. There's even a woman that was on set who's playing a mysterious character, but I know the actor who plays Weaver, Gene Farber, liked that post. I mean, there's so many actors filming in mocap right now. Could be something else, not Black Ops, but a lot of coincidences on top of the one from Luke Charles Stafford many months ago, confirming he was in California filming as a main character Ratcliffe for a Call of Duty game. He name drops Black Ops 2 in this post as well. That he was a big fan of BO2, and I'm like, all these hints that that are likely for Black Ops 6. It's crazy, and then we can get even more wild with all these teasers because let me pull up this post real quick. Let's see. Well, what is this right here? You look at all these teasers now, and I'm like, dude, Black Ops 6 is like the reveal for it's imminent. It's insane. Like, we're that close. So do you think the season 4 patch is probably gonna have a ton more spicy details when that gets downloaded on May 29th? That's a week before the event, by the way, May 29th. How wild is that gonna be?
I can almost guarantee you 100% for certain we will have official logo, official pre-order text, pre-order images, pre-order bonuses.
Images.
I can almost guarantee that 100%. I can guarantee that. I did not think we were going to get this much in the season 3 loaded one. I didn't think there's going to be. I didn't think there's going to be anything to do with the reveal. I didn't think there's going to be anything to do with the pre-order bonus, the Woods operator. But that's in season 3 loaded, and you're going to tell me that they're going to release another update and there's going to be like nothing new added? No.
Yeah, it's good because
unless they hotfix it in or release a separate update the day of that event.
They should do that.
Which I agree. I think they should do that. But maybe they do, maybe they don't. If that is the case, just make the event in its entirety, the Xbox event on June 1st, a day after, or May 30th. A day after season 4 launch, just to be like, okay, the update dropped, now we're going to reveal the game. Boom.
I'm praying that whatever this reveal event is, it's rumored for Black Ops 6. I'm praying that happens before June 9th. And it kind of has to, right? But I'm praying that happens. Or let me rephrase that. I'm praying that happens before May 29th, before the season 4 patch, because
the mini
whatever the mini reveal event is, I'm hoping that's before the season 4 launch. Because if it's not, then it's like, oh, everything's getting spoiled with the download of season 4. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken here, every single reveal event for a new COD within Warzone, all the rewards and a lot of info about pre-orders were leaked like either hours or days before the events actually happened. I'm pretty sure that happened every time with the Cold War one, the Vanguard one, and I think even the Shadow Siege MW3 one, if I'm not mistaken. I swear that happened every time.
Yeah, the day of that morning, it would be all of the logos, all the pre-order
Everything.
images.
Yeah. Like the little the
Yeah.
banners and billboards in
Mhm.
game, pre-order now. It's dude.
Yep.
And that hype's gonna be unreal. We were just talking about this on a previous episode where like we need some type of logo announcement or some acknowledgement so that we can start kickstarting some detonated coverage, some more videos. And now that's happening. So it's like definitely
But
expect
season
even
4 is gonna
more.
be that season. Like,
Oh
season
yeah.
4 is
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
that season where it's like, okay, like, oh, there's nothing going on MW3, Black Ops 6 Zombies teaser, or
There's unlimited
like
material with that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So as a content creator, it's exciting because it's like there won't be there literally won't be another dry period for a minute. And that's why I'm like, regardless of what gets added in season 4, all that will still be covered, but there's going to be unlimited material to talk about Black Ops, speculation, rumors, official announcements, teasers. Lots of great things going on with that. But yeah, we're very close, chat. I cannot. It almost doesn't feel real. Like we're that close to another Black Ops game. Like what? Cold War is going to be 4 years old by the time this game releases. Like that's insane. Um, I'm ecstatic about it. I really am. But I just hope things get done right. I'm just curious. There's that rumor about early access for pre-ordering. It's a zombies rumor, but will they do things really different this year where they're like, hey, we're gonna announce the game in June. There will be maybe a lack of a beta for multiplayer. Maybe no campaign access, but if you pre-order the $100+ version of the game, you get 2 weeks of early access to all game modes. And then if you don't want to do that, you can get the game day one normally, but it'll also be on Game Pass day one. Maybe that's what they do. It's like you have 2 releases for the game essentially: early access and then the Game Pass version.
Here's what I think. I don't think anyone's ever complained about the amount of time you get to play the multiplayer before launch. Like, you get multiple weekends, pretty much a month full of weekends. Um, and that's not counting an alpha. There is an alpha this year, which, the Cold War alpha, insanely iconic time for Call of Duty. Um, and I think multiplayer betas are a staple of a pre-order Call of Duty bonus. So I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I genuinely don't think that's going to go anywhere. Campaign access, something new, but people have displayed their love for it. Like, I don't think anyone's complained with the campaign early access, and people have been asking for Zombies beta for 10 plus years. So maybe they're like, screw it. We're going to give you the multiplayer beta weekends. We're going to give you the early access Zombies, and we're going to give you a week early access to campaign, week before launch. I can see them doing all of it. I don't think they're going to cut anything out, especially since that could lead to more people actually pre-ordering. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people like 100%. And then there's people in chat here where it's like, if you get to play one round-based Zombies map for Black Ops 6 early, all you have to do is pre-order. Everyone will be pre-ordering, because I know a lot of people don't pre-order or don't buy the game until like the week of, the day of. That would get a lot more sales and a lot quicker of time if you were to have Zombies, because Activision knows, Microsoft knows, there hasn't been a round-based Zombies in a Black Ops game for 4 years.
Yeah, it's Forsaken. Yeah, literally.
If you want to count Archon, but not Treyarch game.
Yeah,
even though it was made by Treyarch, but I don't know. I think Vanguard, it just wasn't popular. 4 years though round based in a Treyarch game. They know the community is itching for it. How do you cash in on that? Let them play it a month early. Go pre-order.
Let them play. Yeah.
And how do you cash in on the MP community? Give them their beta weekends. How do you cash in on just hype in general for the campaign as a whole? We'll release it a week early. I think they're going to do a triple whammy, and they're going to do all 3.
It just sounds weird when you think about it. It's like, oh, how spread thin is the launch? Because it's like, oh, what are you really waiting for the launch? Then you've already played everything early, and then you wait for the launch window to actually get back into XYZ, or you save a round-based map for launch. If there's 2 round-based maps, yeah, you save a round-based map.
I think it would be a bad decision if there's only 1 round-based map total for the launch.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
If you just have 1 map you can play as like a pre-order map, cool, fine. But when that launch comes around, you need like a Blood of the Dead level experience that drops.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
100%.
Solid Easter egg, solid side quest, crazy cutscene. Like you need all of that for launch. But I'm fine if like the pre-order map is more akin to like survival and not too in depth. Just getting used to the mechanics and getting used to the zombies on a new engine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think that'll be cool.
It's and then we talked about this a bit before, but it's like you think about how the launch window will be for this game. If you genuinely have 2 weeks to play one of the round based maps, I think that's great because it eliminates the Black Ops 4 crisis, which is too many maps day one. People are all over the place, overwhelmed, let alone crashing issues, that people just speedrun through all that content and don't even enjoy or absorb the atmospheres and the actual replayability from those maps. And then by like a week or two later, they're like, oh, dead game. Where's the content? When's the next update? When's the next thing? Split things up accordingly, not spreading it too thin or drip feeding content, but accordingly. I think that's really beneficial for the community. But yeah, it's going to be a very unique launch window. I want to say, coming from Microsoft's first drop. So, I mean, yeah, I think if they eliminate, I think they'll still have like a small multiplayer beta, but my prediction is that they eliminate the campaign access and they bundle everything at once, where it's like pre-order big edition, you get 2 weeks of early access to everything after a small multiplayer beta. That's what I'm thinking they do. And then obviously when I say everything, I mean everything but like one of the round-based maps. Or maybe maybe it's just limited multiplayer content. And then day one, you get the rest of the stuff that was promised, and then we'll go from there. That's my prediction. But
I don't see any online aspect being completely early access. Like
so one zombie map, no multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't see multiplayer being permanently early access for 2 weeks. I don't see that. Definitely the beta weekends. Obviously, see the beta weekends. That should be that should happen. But I think when it's more offline, it's kind of just like, or in quote unquote offline, like the campaign, even though you have to still be online technically. But
yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like single player
zombies,
experience. Yeah.
Zombies and everything. Like, yes, it's something you can play single player, especially in zombies case. But I don't know. I just don't think they would go down that route. It would be interesting and different, yeah. But do I think they would do it? I don't know. I definitely see the zombie stuff being like, there's no matchmaking, just like invite your friends or whatever.
That's actually cool. That would actually be pretty cool. And I like this idea from Jessup. Maybe access to the second map is locked behind you beating the first map. Obviously, that encourages more early access purchases and requires you to play that first map, beat that quest, then get the second map unlocked. I love that, by the way. I absolutely love that. People might say, "Oh, that's gatekeeping and that's weird." It's like, no, it's progression. I like that idea for zombies. But I'm expecting the early access zombie map to probably be, watered down a bit content wise. It's very, very, very simple. And then the launch map be like the big one with the massive quest, massive cinematic cutscenes, and all this crazy shit. But with 4 years of development, hopefully, setting our expectations, to like a neutral level. Hopefully, with the 4 year development cycle, we'll all be surprised day one, and our expectations could be completely, blown out of the water or something. Very interesting stuff. Catch up on chat a little bit. Let me see what we got here. Thank you to Deathmonks. The Black Hawk Down incident linked Bin Laden to the 1992 Yemen hotel attack and a 1995 bombing in, I can't see that word. Also, we can see a Yemen return in Cosplay 24. It's possible. Get some BO2 maps remade totally. Hell said Euro Mountains. That's like the sad lost Battle Royale map for Warzone. That would have been cool. Any mention of open combat missions for COD 2024? I believe there was maybe a light rumor that there would be some, but I feel like a lot of the rumors about open combat were for the next game after that, like a Black Ops 2025. But those rumors are all over the place. I'm sure we'll still see something like that if they were popular in Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, but we are getting Black Ops 2 maps. We don't know. There's a rumor for Black Ops 2025 that will end up getting like futuristic maps, a game that takes place directly after BO2. But yeah, before we move on to another topic here, any other thoughts on Black Ops 6? Anything that we didn't cover here? I think that's just about everything that we saw over the last couple of days.
I think yum.
Yeah, and there is a huge list of rumors in regards to future content for MW3 and Warzone. We'll get to that in just a second. It's actually a really good list. Helps us learn a little bit more about Season 4. But before we do that, let's go ahead and read some funny comments with Who Are These People?
Who are these people?
All right, so got some funny ones. And obviously, like I just mentioned before, I think it's going to be very, very likely we get a bunch of comments about the game being called Black Ops 6. Where's BO5? We're going to get those comments every day, I feel like, on videos and certainly some detonated posts. Sometimes I feel like you don't know shit about COD, LOL, no lore or anything. I miss old COD creators. They actually love the game, dude. Abolisher's new skin is the blue translucent skin. You know that if you just kind of do your research. I just didn't mention that in like one of my old videos talking about a new Abolisher skin that leaked. I just didn't mention that one of the new bundles was for Abolisher. I'm like, wasn't that big of a deal, but I guess bro got mad about that. It's a badass skin coming, by the way. Looks like you never did a push-up in your life. That's a very random one. People asking if I have lipstick on. I do not. I do not. I know my camera has like a updated. My camera has like increased saturation in this room, but I'm not wearing lipstick. I'll try to turn it down a little bit more. I tried turning it down like twice. Let's see. Yeah, another useless video with zero new real info that could have been summed up in a 45 seconds, but somehow turned into an 11-minute video. Just stop uploading. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I think this was a recap of like some season 3 Reloaded info. I guess bro got mad about it. When DK bundle comes out, the Daddy Dimitri operator skin will wear a Bombshell robe, right? That's crazy. This is more of a funny one. I really hate Mel, but there's that one. So you're gonna talk about Golf War using AI art. It's begun, folks. It has begun. There will be comments in every video going forward if I addressed AI. We have addressed AI. We've talked about it. Camos are bugged, but how about actually playing the basic game is bugged? Are you not with your community? Reloading frame rate, and you talk about camos you pay money for in the first minute. Sad. I just mentioned the fact that you can now run camos on the Beast Glove, man.
I need a clip of that. Can you send me a clip of that?
I did send you a clip of that. Did it not send?
When?
I recorded it like yesterday or the day before, and I sent it. It probably got lost in Discord. We were spamming each other with a bunch of shit. This is not bad by any means, but here's a funny example of what I was talking about. People saying bundles don't matter. I screenshotted 2 back-to-back comments. Where the F is the clown skin? That's what we want to know. Where is the Killer Circus Freak bundle? When's it coming? Let's see. On my new schematic video, bro all talking about same thing. What do they do to know if it's worth the fight? It says it in the blog post. Dude, you are creating content, new content. You don't even have arts. Damn, mate, don't create content if you are lame to show people. Love to know what that means. Imagine being so far in the gutter that you are trying to take the Advanced Warfare players' attention like this. COD has fallen and should let itself die off to be reborn like a phoenix. Somebody asked, what are you yapping about, buddy? The guy replied, there's a consistent player base on Advanced Warfare who don't want to play new COD. They don't hack and can enjoy the game freely while only costing Activision money. What is that? Can you break that down for me? I can't even comprehend that.
I was typing a tweet, so I didn't hear it.
The guy said the game's in the gutter that they're trying to take the player base away from Advanced Warfare because the game has an active player base that doesn't want to spend money on new COD.
What?
So he's saying don't add the Bal 27. Don't add the Bal 27.
Yeah, I think like what I just can't. I just can't. This guy said take away from the Advanced Warfare player base. I guarantee there's probably like maybe 100, 300 people playing that.
Yeah.
Across all platforms. Let's check SteamDB.
Let's check SteamDB. What's Advanced Warfare's player count looking like, dude?
I'm guessing it might be a few hundred on Steam. Let's see. There is currently 75 people playing Advanced Warfare on Steam.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not on. It's obviously only on Steam for PC.
But it was 150 before they added the BAL. So you know.
Yeah, those 80 people, man. They moved on to MW3. Yeah. Also, no crossplay. Advanced Warfare. Nice auto ping. What do you use for that? What is auto ping? Is that like some exploit or some hack to get? Like, what is that? I wonder what that means. I got accused of cheating many times in the past couple of videos of mine. I know your life right now, not trying to hate. I hope you know there's no such thing as Black Ops 6. It's called Black Ops Gulf War. It's a sequel to Black Ops 2. Black Ops 6 with it makes sense. Help me, bro. Help me with that one.
Thank you, man.
Oh man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. That's wild, man. That might be the best one of the week. But high note to end on for that segment real quick. My mind is blown from some of the comments I've been seeing lately. I actually don't understand. Don't imagine any of those 2K people dropping Advanced Warfare for the Bell and Modern Warfare 3. Well, don't forget, Hells, you got the Bell, you got the MP9, aka the FJX Horse, and you got the Morse, with probably even more on the way. You got the Jack Atlas kit for the AMR9. We'll probably see an EM1 at some point. There's actually a lot of amps that leaked out. But speaking of Advanced Warfare, you want to get crazy real quick? Look at this, man. I know you already posted this on Detonated, but a DNA bomb got data mined. Leakers claim a DNA bomb has been added to COD HQ as a kill streak. So are you thinking it's a reskin for the nuke we currently have, which is just the Modern Warfare 2 nuke, or is it a new streak?
I could definitely see them removing the MGB and adding the DNA bomb, as like the replacement for the MGB, like just removing that and just adding it because you know, they're doing a lot of Advanced Warfare stuff. I think it'd be cool to have it to bring the DNA bomb back, you know, especially in multiplayer. Obviously, there's not much more we know of except for that, right? That is a kill streak. It was added. DNA_nuke. Guess we have to wait and see on that one. I'd love for it to come to MP. That'd be amazing.
You want to get creative with it? Imagine the DNA bomb's a 25 kill streak, and they keep because it won't end the game. But then they keep the MGB for 30. I mean, it's so unlikely to do that. But that'd be funny if they have like a nuke that you can keep calling in that won't end the game. Did the Advanced Warfare one end the game? I don't remember.
I forget.
I feel like it probably didn't, but maybe I'm tripping on that one. Interesting rumor there. On top of that, it's unclear what these rumors are for, or when these pieces of content are releasing. But reportedly for season 4, could be later, could be earlier, we're going to be seeing the following collabs: Fallout, Gundam, and The Crow. Now, I'm familiar with Fallout. Didn't really play the games all that much. I played, I think, 1 or 2 of them way back when, a freaking lifetime ago. The show obviously just came out. That's popular. Gundam, I'm not sure what Gundam is. Do you know anything about Gundam? Mobile Suit Gundam. Looks pretty cool.
Gundam is like a it's like a robot anime where it's like a whole bunch of cool robot suits and stuff. So it's like it's gonna go hard, I think.
Yeah. So it could be potential for a new event, new skins. Also a collab with The Crow. Isn't that a movie coming out? That's a movie coming out, I think.
Yeah.
So those are apparently the season 4 collaborations. I mean, Fallout is just perfect because the popularity rise right now from the show.
I'm so happy with that one. I'm like, because I was already like, I watched the TV show, I watched it with my dad, and then I was like, I'm gonna go play Fallout 4 again. I'm playing through Fallout 4, and then the crossover leaked out, and I'm like, man, that's the first post acquisition. That's the first Xbox IP being added into.
You're right.
A Call of Duty.
Yeah. It must be maybe COD wanted to do one way back when and just never could because whatever legal reasons, and now it's like that's been made easier. Or has Fallout been relevant enough to even want to do that until now?
That's what I was gonna say. You know, there wasn't really a lot going on with Fallout. Obviously, the TV show was the only thing really going for Fallout because they haven't released a Fallout game in 2020 with 76. So yeah, the TV show comes out, very popular.
Definitely. Killer Stitch, much love, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Did Fallout miss the window though? Should Bethesda have announced a new game right after like the first season ended? Should they keep that momentum train going a little bit longer? I know there's still a lot of love for like the older games, but I feel like they should have announced a new game or something.
I mean, yeah, if you want to get into game sales and what the Fallout TV show did for the franchise, there was a 75 or 7,500% increase in people buying Fallout 4 the week after the show came out. Went to the top of best selling. Granted, all the games were on sale, so you know, a smart choice on them, obviously, to do that. They released the next gen update 2 weeks after the show came out, an update for Fallout 76 as well, and then, like I said, the next gen update for Fallout 4. So there was sort of an update planned. Like it wasn't just like, oh, we're going to release the show and expect nothing to happen. But when it comes to Bethesda and making games, like, you know, they just released Starfield. That wasn't received well. Apparently we have reports that they want to push forward the next Fallout game because of the success of the show. From like Microsoft insiders or whoever the hell. I saw a report on that. But it looks like Bethesda's next game is going to be Elder Scrolls 6, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 6 or 4. I don't know. I forget. It's been so long since I've actually been looking into that. But
That's wild, man. That's
yeah,
interesting.
Bethesda need to get back. They need to make a Fallout game, man. They need to,
I don't know. Like, I was gonna bring this up
board.
earlier, but I saved it for now. I'm like, same with Rockstar. These studios, man. Like, I don't know if it's a publisher issue or development crisis. Like, games need to get pumped out. Like, I think 3 to 4 years max. Like, for a lot of games. Like, I understand.
Especially
some
big
longer,
IPs.
Yeah.
Like, especially big IPs is like, I mean, obviously people are, you know, these are people working on games, right? You can't be like, you know, just crank out just bullshit. Obviously there still has to be quality there. But you know, we're waiting for, like, for example, from Arkham Knight to Suicide Squad. I think that's a little bit uncanny.
It's extreme,
like
bro. That's
years,
extreme.
like almost a decade.
Yeah, like we should be playing the next Rocksteady game right now. Suicide Squad should have came out max like 2019, like the latest.
Yeah,
honestly, like that should have been a pre-COVID game, to be honest with you. Suicide Squad should have been a pre-COVID game, and then you could have got badass updates over the pandemic, and then while while Rocksteady was working on their next game, that's what should have happened.
Yeah.
And I thought WB Games should have dropped the game too in like 2017.
Outside of sports games, Call of Duty is really the only shooter that releases yearly, I'd say. I think that's a fair assessment. Everything else is like, okay, every few years, or not even releasing a new game, like
one a decade.
Yeah. GTA 6, I mean, Rockstar can do whatever the hell they want. They released the most popular game of all time. GTA 5, so it's like, you know, I can sort of see they can want to take their time on that because, like, they kind of own everything.
Indeed.
Because that game still makes crazy amounts of money with the online mode. But yeah, you know, pumping out games faster, I think, especially in, I think, I don't know, every game company wants a live service game nowadays. You know what I mean? Like Fallout 76, Fallout 76, a live service game. You know, Call of Duty live service but still releases yearly. Fortnite live service, Apex live service. Like, everyone wants a live service game. No one wants to really make a game every few years anymore.
Yeah. And then keeping up with trends is difficult. I get it too. Keeping up with trends is tough because you greenlight a game, and then by the time you get it out, you know that trend is faded and something else is out. I get that, but in a case like Halo, for example, right? Halo Infinite got like a bit of an overhaul. Hype was regenerating, and then they just stopped supporting the game. And this TV show comes out. How perfect would it have been if, like, there was like some big momentum for Halo when the show was kind of hot for a second? Even though it didn't really stay hot because the season got worse and worse. And then and then Infinite's getting updates. A BR could have dropped for it. Halo had potential too, man. It's crazy to see what's going on with other franchises. Meanwhile, COD just has it locked the fuck down, dude. Like, despite the issues that occur here and there with COD, like, things are moving. Things are moving. I'm not saying a game has to have a yearly drop, but like you were saying, 3-4 years tops. Get strong live service updates out if that's the direction they want to go, or, you know, pump out a good single player game every couple years. I don't know, but yeah, overall, when it comes to other rumors, there's obviously lots of gameplay out there. I'll cover this in other videos. A lot of aftermarket parts leaked. I think all the weekly challenges surfaced. Is that article updated for the site? Damn, I mean, I guess that's fine. I'm like, I don't really want them to leak out like that all that often, but it's like, oh, it is what it is. They just, for every single week, it's the same shit anyway, but it's cool with that surprise. Like, oh, what amp is coming tomorrow? It's kind of cool to not know, but now everything's known. The STG-44, Spaz 12, Car 98K. What other weapons leaked out? There's a lot here.
Leaked weapons are spear, bow, shovel, Car 98K, Spaz 12, STG-44.
It's like solid lineup, man.
Yeah, most of those, I think the community knows, like the leaking community knows for sure that Car 98K, Spaz 12 or Season 4. Everything else is kind of up in the air for that.
The Spaz, you could do a Kimbo on the Spaz, apparently, according to rumors. Of being a Kimbo attachment. That's scary. Because, like, how much better will those be compared to the Lockwood amps? That's what I'm curious about. You get more range with those. I'm interested. Yeah, they're just fun to use. People were saying the new Lockwoods are terrible, but I've seen some demon clips on Warzone, man, and people be using these things. multiplayer too. Honestly, I mean, obviously in zombies, you pack a punch them, they're good regardless. But lots of crazy updates, man. Season 4 begins May 29th. Definitely anticipating a Black Ops 6 announcement or something before that, and then once that update drops, there'll be a plethora of leaks, I'm sure, and then there'll be the Xbox Showcase event about a week and some change later. And yeah, to kind of wrap up a little bit, I know Warzone Mobile got the Golden Week update a few days ago. For those that care, I made a video about that a couple of hours ago. The Golden Week is odd because like you would think mainline COD would celebrate that too, because there was a Golden Week bundle to drop for MW3, but there was no actual like challenge event or anything. Warzone Mobile's moving along with quality of life. I know custom finishing moves got added. They fixed some other bugs. Lots of content leaked out that we'll probably talk about in some other videos, but I know maps, modes. Still no transferable rewards, which is odd. So I guess Warzone Mobile is just over time going to become its own COD mobile where there's just exclusive content you could just get in that game, which I think defeats the purpose of the game itself. But they're still calling it Season Reloaded. It's not Season 3, which again which brings it further and further away from it being integrated properly with mainline COD. It's just very weird. It's very weird how they're doing that. Let's see, what did COD updates just tweet? We released a fix for a bug affecting Jack Wardens that resulted in shots not landing where intended when fired simultaneously. So let's see if those are actually meta now. Maybe they're actually better than what we thought. I was just mentioning that a few seconds ago. That's funny. Live Bombshell there. Very, very cool. But I think that's just about everything for the past couple of days. A good little roundup of the shenanigans this past week. Next podcast, we'll see when that is. We might pre-record one for the week I'm out of town, but we'll see depending on our guest availability. Let's see what else we got in chat. Last minute comments, questions, concerns before we wrap up. I think we just about touched on everything we wanted to. I took a look at the background of the Cotosaurus bundle in game, and the dinosaur skins backpack looks similar to the Death Stranding character. Oh, that'd be cool if we got a Death Stranding collab there. Could we see Perseus work with Raul Menendez and Bin Laden in Black Ops 6? Now, I'm sure there'll be
that's a crazy sentence.
Yeah, I can't believe I just read that, by the way. Yeah. That's just, I mean, I'm anticipating a Perseus plot twist with like the Gulf War, Iraq War for sure. But like, are we going to get like a 9/11, mention in the campaign if it goes to the early 2000s? Maybe that's too sensitive, but then again, COD usually covers all sensitive topics, even if it's years after the events occurred, many years. But Menendez, the actor, sadly passed away. So unless they recast, I don't know if they'll do a Menendez. They could easily do that, but I don't know. Salute to the legend who played Menendez. He passed away about a year ago or a little bit longer. Disappointed with the Lockwood amps. It takes too many shots to kill. Yeah, try it now because they just buffed them.
I personally think they would probably want to stay away from any real life terrorist. I think.
I think it's cooler too when you have just a fictional antagonist. There's more you could do with that, right? It gets too wild when you have like a real life terrorist in the game, and then it's like, how much can you do with that character? And does it get too sensitive? I don't.
Yeah.
9/11, I think is a little bit, in my opinion, is a little too sensitive. Because even like, I mean, I'm trying to go on a tangent here, but even like in World War II CODs, they don't really go that deep into like the Holocaust or anything that dramatic. You know what I mean? They don't really, they mention them, but you're not going to get like a cutscene or like a playable, part of that.
Which like, I guess it's just, Call of Duty for the past, it's always done some controversial stuff. Obviously, you're talking about No Russian from MW2. Like, there's always controversial things. Even in MW2 2022, there's some controversial things that that campaign did. I guess, that's just if they want to go that route, they're gonna have to be prepared for some controversy. And if they don't and just make it fictional, I mean, that's fine.
I know.
I think Perseus is a perfect like just cool fictional like sort of thing.
It's a group that you can kind of plop into like any setting, and you can make something interesting out of that. Like first of all, the Cold War, there were no on the ground battles. There was no boots on the ground situations during the actual Cold War in real life, and they literally made a Call of Duty out of that. So I can't imagine what they can do in Twist with like the Gulf War and Iraq War in a creative way. If possible.
Yeah, there was no USA versus Russia fight.
Yeah,
in the Cold War.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
yeah, there was always a sort of the pawns of USA and the pawns of Russia
Going at it.
fighting each
Yeah.
other, which
Yeah.
which in turn were the um those sides fighting.
No, and I get that. But
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see how
yeah,
they
there was a great job done with that, and sort of making like a really nice cinematic story with the Cold War. But
indeed.
anyway,
Indeed.
we're just yapping now.
Yeah, a good little wrap up. I just got reminded in chat. I did want to touch on this, and we went through a lot today. So excuse me, I did forget to bring this up. The cutscene for the Act 4 mission really does set up. I want to say Black Ops 6 Zombies a little bit. I thought it was a great cutscene. Some folks were like, "Oh, it doesn't really do much," but I'm like, "No, you get to see old Dr. Gray confirming to Ava that she is the daughter of Samantha Maxis and Ravenov, but it's because Requiem had their DNA and made her in a lab or something, or did they merge? I forget the lore real quick, but I think they had their DNA and put it within Dr. Gray. Did Dr. Gray give birth? I'm not exactly sure on the specifics here. I'd have to look into it, but the video that Ava watches was filmed in 1996. And I'm like, that's crazy that they're just constantly pushing the 90s to us because, again, Black Ops 6 will be covering the 90s. So that was definitely a very, very important cutscene for the narrative. It's just, what do you think about the story, though? Do you think it's going to be a little odd to be like, okay, Black Ops 6 Zombies will then be a prequel to MW3? So do we ever truly get a follow-up to this narrative? Is this narrative going to be redundant? What are your predictions right now, story-wise, like thematically?
I don't know. It's I think I think they've done well with sort of like having a prequel, a sequel, and then like the main story. Obviously, you had Vanguard prequel, World War II esque story within the Dark Ether. Then the Cold War and Black Ops 6 era is sort of like our big main story, and then you have like the sequel to the main story, which is the MW3 sort of thing, which still connect. It all connects in some sort of way, but yeah, I mean, I think they've done well in that aspect. I think, especially with MW3, because there's a lot more connection. Like, okay, like Cold War, Cold War, Cold War. What in Vanguard, it was kind of like all new characters, no perk machines, and like it just didn't really feel connected.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Like I could see MWZ in a Treyarch game. Like that's how close it is. I mean, Treyarch did make it, obviously. Um, I don't know. I think if the rumors are true, then you're gonna have a futuristic game. They might just decide to either continue the current story in the 90s or jump back to the future with the current time of that next Treyarch game, and just kind of continue the MW3 zombie story.
Because Zombies never has to follow the timeline of the campaign, like, and
not really.
Zombies never really has. Like, Zombies has always jumped all over the place time wise. It doesn't follow the exact setting of campaign and multiplayer. It just kind of does its own thing. So with that in mind, yeah, like the next Treyarch Zombies. But here's the thing too. It's still, as of now, there's no rumors about like what's going on with Black Ops 2025. It's obviously too soon to talk about that. But I'm a little worried if Treyarch has to make that game, like what happens to Black Ops 6. Like if Black Ops 6 is the game, right? I don't mind 2 years of support. If people are interested and people are in love with what's going on, I don't mind a 2-year game. But with the rumor that 2025 is a futuristic COD, it almost can't allow for Black Ops 6 to be a 2-year game because it's gonna be a completely different experience. Futuristic mechanics, features. I don't know, but it's like if Black Ops 2025 is really what seems like a fresh coat of paint over Black Ops 6, but with like futuristic aesthetics to it. Like in that case, you could have just done a year or two to Black Ops 6. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could do it.
It's gonna be interesting because it's like we're talking about the game after quote unquote Black Ops 6. We've been hearing it's gonna be like a BO2 sequel, that sort of thing, right?
What do you call that?
Really, exactly. Like if this game is called Black Ops 6, are you gonna call it Black Ops 7? That's gonna be terrible,
man.
That's gonna be terrible. That's what I said before. Stop doing these numbers. Stop doing these numbers things because you're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, you're going to have to either do a subtitle or do something completely different. And they did with Cold War. And that's why I'm so kind of like upset about it, that they're kind of more leaning toward a number from what we've seen, because Charlie Intel put it like 5 tweets in a row with Black Ops 6. Like he only does that.
Yeah, they've heard something.
Knows.
They've heard something.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, especially, I think to me, I was sold with the tally marks. And then, I just think on top of Cold War already being 5, I was never convinced of 5. I was never convinced of it. I think I brought up in the video, like it looks like there's one character on that redacted thing. So I'm like, it looks like a V, but then after making that video, I'm like, why would they just not acknowledge Cold War as 5? I stopped believing it. I'm like, oh, maybe it's X. But yeah, now it's for sure 6. It's got to be 6.
Yeah, and then that brings up the question, like, what are they going to do for the next game? Is it going to be Black Ops 7? Are you going to go back to a subtitle? And then at that point, do you call the next game Black Ops 8? Like, they're putting themselves into a massive hole here, and that's why I think you got to ditch the numbers, and they did perfectly with Cold War.
Especially as like newer and newer devs. I mean, it's obviously a Microsoft choice at the end of the day, I think. But as newer and newer devs get hired at Treyarch, they're eventually going to be like, okay, we want to do something different. We don't want to make a Black Ops game every single time.
And that's why I feel like something like Cold War had its own identity. Because when you say Cold War, you're talking Cold War, but it still had its own identity as like you saw titles back in the day, people saying Cold War Zombies instead of Black Ops Cold War Zombies or Black Ops Zombies. People were calling it Cold War Zombies. People were searching
easier that way.
Zombies.
Yeah.
It's not only it's easier, the game also had its identity outside of Black Ops, and that's what it's trying to get out. That's what I'm trying to say. If you title something, Black Ops, even if it was something like Black Ops X or something like that, right? Which could fit in the character space there on the Xbox thing. It's still not really separate from the Black Ops identity when I feel like Cold War was. Like, Cold War had crazy aura when it came to
insane, yeah, actually insane. Thank you to Deathmonk for that super chat as well. Bakara and multiplayer in Kata 24 set in Mogadishu. Yeah, very possible. If there's any MP map ever set in Mogadishu, I think there's very high chances those maps get brought back in Black Ops 6. But yeah, to your point, it's like if 2025's COD, it's called Black Ops something. Like let's say 2025 is called Black Ops Future Warfare, BS title, right? When that game gets announced, and then even when it's released, people are going to be like, oh, this could have just been a DLC to Black Ops 6. Why do we need another COD this year? Like, because the name Black Ops is going to be in the title. There's no way it's not. So it creates that issue. Whereas if both games have different subtitles, you'd be like, oh, but then it still gets confusing. Because if it's like Black Ops Gulf War and then Black Ops Future Warfare back to back, people are like, oh, are these games separate as DLC?
I think it's bound to happen. It's just bound to happen. Like, it's just bound to happen for the confusion. The confusion's already set in. Most chat here probably still don't understand why it's called 6 instead of 5. And then there's probably some people that think it's still legitimately called Cold War, which is not a problem with that. There's not a problem with thinking that way. It's just like they could be writing themselves into a really
weird spot,
confusing hole where people are like, oh, I look at all the Call of Duty games, there's never a 5. Why it's called 6? I thought it was called Gulf War. It's been called Gulf War for the past like 3 years. But why isn't it just V? But anyway, I don't know. Going back, I know this is off topic. For any Fallout fans in the chat, that'd be really cool if they called the next Fallout game Fallout V for like vaults. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
No, I see. I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean there. I
just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. No, I get you. I actually think they might even just say fucking call it Black Ops 7 in 2025 because they did on W2 and 3 back to back already. They had no problem with that.
Here's the thing. Like MW2 iconic name, MW3 iconic name. Like there's no. Like, can you name any 7th installment of a game that's like iconic?
No, I mean, do you want to switch it up and call it VII instead of the number 7? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're gonna like purposely screw this year's title and then have a subtitle next year and literally call it like, I don't know, Black Ops freaking. You can literally call that game Black Ops 2025 or something like that.
I think that's actually, to be honest with you, the best title they can go with, Black Ops 2025.
Like Black Ops 2027 or something. Like, it's just a year. I think a year would work for that.
But
Final Fantasy 7. I don't care about Final Fantasy. I'm sorry. The world revolves around me. Okay, Jessup. Okay? Stop getting nerd emoji. And when I said that, I thought about Final Fantasy 7 too. But Resident Evil 7. I mean,
that game was actually really good. To be honest with you, I just thought of that too.
Yeah, I agree. But it's such a big number, bro. It's such a big number.
No, I know. But I'm thinking hard now. I'm never gonna get over this now. Now that you said it, Black Ops 2025 is the best title for the next COD after 6, because it almost gives the impression of a full Black Ops 2 remake, because people know that the game took place 2025, and the game's rumored to have all the remasters anyway from Black Ops 2, and the game probably takes place in 2025. And even if you give the impression of like, oh, is that a map pack for Black Ops 6? No, because people right away would know Black Ops 6 is a 90s game. People would have been playing that game for months, and then like, oh, 2025, that's really far from the timeline of the game we just bought. So I think Black Ops 2025 literally has to be the fucking title. Like, clip me, chat, hold me to it. I'm always gonna say that Black Ops 2025 has to be the title of the next COD after Black Ops 6.
Year, like I think the Call of Duty's never done a year for a title. Like I think that would be cool too if it was just like, I mean, I'm using Cyberpunk as an example, but like Call of Duty 2077, like that sounds cool, or Black Ops 2077, like that sounds cool.
That actually does sound cool. I like that. Like Spider-Man 2099. Cyberpunk 2077. That sounds cool.
That would be the best case scenario, Jessup. If they do a Resident Evil Village where it's like the letters are highlighted to tell you that it is 8, but it's still Resident Evil Village.
Yes, that's a creative way to do it. That's
what they should do this year. That's what they should do this year.
Yeah, but then again, I'm also like, I'm thinking about content again. Black Ops 6, anything works for a title, but then it's like, if it's Black Ops 2025, how do you imagine titling a video Black Ops 2025 zombies? Well, you know what I mean? Black Ops 2025 Warzone Season 3 Reloaded. Like, I'm just thinking as a content creator now how wild that would look. I don't know, man. There's so many ways we could think about it.
Or just be like, or maybe not 20, but there would be like, maybe if it took place in I don't know, let's say I'll use Cyberpunk example again, 2077. It's just called Black Ops 77 for the year. You know what I mean?
Most franchises, when they get up to like, you know, the 5th, 6th, 7th sequel, they end up doing like a soft reboot anyway, where it's like just the name, like God of War, for example. And then they start doing subtitles after that little soft reboot. Scream did it weird though. Scream did like a soft reboot. I think, was it Scream 5? Just called Scream, and then they did 6 and 7 with the Roman numerals, I think. It's like, it's weird how some franchises do it now. It's really odd.
Just call it Black Ops 2 Remake and make $1 trillion real.
Black Ops 2, the remake. I mean, Saw, the franchise, did it as well. The horror franchise. Saw did. It was like Saw 3D, the final chapter. That was Saw 7. Then they did a movie called Jigsaw, which was 8. They released a spinoff called Spiral, which for some reason is classified as Saw 9, because then they just released Saw X like not too long ago with the Roman numeral, and now Saw 11's next year.
I think I see a lot of people bringing up, they're like, oh, but GTA didn't follow the number of entries with
different series
games.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, that's literally irrelevant to what another two, because then you just brought up a perfect example. What Saw did. Saw didn't name 7, 8, 9.
Exactly.
Saw they didn't name
and
7,
they jumped
8,
to 10.
9. Saw 7. Exactly.
Bro, the iPhone did that.
That's what I was gonna say. iPhone.
I just thought of that right now. iPhone didn't have a 9. I swear it was 8, and then it was like X, and then they released like a 9. The 9 was like the XR, right? It was they did it out of order. I swear they did the iPhone out of order. Like, it's just all types of properties do this all the time. That's the weird thing.
I mean, there is no iPhone 9. It went from 8 to X,
and then XR.
Done.
And then they went to 11.
XR.
And then they did 11 after that. They went completely out of order because of
mean,
celebrating anniversary or something. They'll go ahead and do that.
If you want to bring out weird examples, but here's the thing: no one complained about the iPhone being called the iPhone X because that sounds sick as fuck.
It's clean, exactly. It's clean. That's cool. It's a clean phone, dude. It was a revolutionary iPhone. It was the first iPhone without the fucking home button. You had to swipe up, like, and I think it was the swipe and the Face ID. So it was like the craziest thing. It was a reason to give it that new name. You know, a reason to go all out. But yeah, that's a tangent about Roman numerals and numbers and sequels and all that. We can talk about that all day.
Which only chronically online people care about. So.
Motherfuckers going to be playing that game. They're going to be downloading it, playing early access, buying battle passes. We'll be logging in day one every season. Like, the name of the game will not change how people perceive the game as long as the game is solid. The interest is not going to affect it.
Unless if it's, I don't know. I mean, unless if it's called like Call of Duty poo pee butt warfare. I don't know. I might have a problem with that, but
yeah, if they call it something just really odd, like it's, I don't know. Things are gonna be fine, like Call of Duty that like imagine if the game was called like just Black Ops. I would have actually had a problem with that. If it was just called Black Ops, I would not. I don't want that.
Probably be beefing.
I don't want the Modern Warfare. It's not, and I get it. It's not about what I want. I'm just giving my opinion here. I wouldn't want a Modern Warfare 19 reboot scenario at all. And we know this game's not a reboot. It's a literal sequel to Cold War. They could have been creative and been like, oh, Black Operations. What's the fucking point? Just call it Black Ops something. You know what I mean? They could have gone weird with it or called it Call of Duty, you know, whatever. And then, oh, it's a Black Ops sequel, just not called Black Ops, and then try and do a World at War type thing. No, just call it Black Ops something.
I saw someone in chat earlier that was like getting mad that we were calling it Black Ops 6, being like, well, if World at War is Black Ops 1, that means Black Ops 1 is Black Ops 2, Declassified is Black Ops 3.
There's no
BO2
way.
Is BO4. There was someone in chat that said that.
There's no way somebody actually believes that, like, or thinks that. Like, it's just crazy.
There was like, they're like Black Ops Declassified is BO3, Black Ops 2 is BO4.
So Activision's been wrong with their
BO5.
Yeah, Black Ops 3. Activision's been wrong with all their Black Ops titles, and that's what you're claiming, that all their titles are incorrect, and you have your own labels for the games that you follow.
Even though World at War,
it's a prologue.
It's also not a Black Ops game either. Like if you want to get real nerd emoji with this, you better be calling Vanguard Black Ops 2 then.
Oh yeah, because Vanguard's tied to World at War.
Let's break it down. We have Black Ops 1 is World at War. Vanguard is Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 is Black Ops 3.
Black Ops Declassified.
Black Ops Declassified is Black Ops
PS Vita
Black Ops
only.
4. Bro, I can't.
Yeah,
you said it in chat. Please tell me you were joking. Were you joking?
It has to be. There's no way he wasn't joking. If he's still here,
I know you're in chat a bunch, so you're probably joking. I don't know who said it.
That is incredible, bro. That's a
funny joke. That's a funny joke.
It is.
Some people probably think like that.
Vanguard's biggest missed opportunity is not being like a proper World at War like tie-in or sequel. Good. Yeah, he was joking. But Vanguard legit should have been a modern day World at War. It should have been that good of a game. Like it should have. Like that's my opinion about Vanguard. It should I'm talking about thematically, like narratively. It should have been a literal World at War tie-in. That would have been insane. Okay, so COD 1, you have the big red one. Finest hour, yeah. Which Treyarch is Treyarch did the big red one? That's the real Black Ops one. How about that? Because that's canon somewhere in the fucking past.
So by the time we get to Black Ops 3, it's like Black Ops 6.
You're already on 6, 7, 8 already.
We're going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're going down that rabbit hole. We'll go get deeper, and I'm sure and there's the Nintendo, the Nintendo DS Black Ops game too. That's like what was that called? Was that just called Black Ops, or I forgot what that was called on the DS?
We got to count the mobile games. The mobile games that counts as Black Ops probably 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, it's like you want to count everything. There we go. Like I'm actually I'm a declassified stan, and I'm saying that game's not even canon anymore. Cold War decanonized it.
So realistically, the new Black Ops coming out this year is like Black Ops probably like 9 if you count the mobile games, Vanguard, World at War, Declassified.
No, we're on 10. Call it X. We're already on 10 then. At that point, we're there. That's how you call it. That's how you call it Black Ops X, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you call it.
That'd be a funny tweet if it was called X. I could just make
that's actually a great. No. Get on. We'll do this later. We'll get a list of all the CODs that Treyarch's made, and I guarantee you we're at 9 already. And then we're gonna call and then be like, this is why Black Ops 2024 is actually Black Ops X proof. Like it's just be a funny ass tweet. I think. That's a straight impression farmer, engagement farmer, brain dead take. That's just purely for fun. Which we've never done tweets like that ever on the Detonated Twitter, where they're completely brain dead, that mean nothing, that are just full of shit, that it's just for fun. We've never done that, so that would be the first of its kind.
There is some memes where I can't.
That's a meme though. It's different, bro. This ain't a meme. This is straight bullshit. It's hilarious.
It's like the ones with the emojis where it's like
nerd
Jason
actually
that will save zombies.
Yeah,
Jason Bodell will save zombies.
I know. Yeah.
Deviation games will release round base. Like
deviation games. Dude, oh my god. Shit like that, man. It's just that's what we live for, man. But ladies and gentlemen, what a great episode. We'll be back soon with more podcasts. I know this month's pretty crazy, but
we've been yapping for
a little bit. Yeah, that went way longer than we thought talking about Black Ops 6, but without going on a rant about the technicality of the name itself. As a reminder,
we're the number one chronically online podcast.
Yeah, the chronically online yappers for Call of Duty. But lots of new articles going up on detonated.com. We obviously have the COD 2024 filter. It'll be changed to Black Ops 6 really soon. It just says COD 2024 for right now, so we got official announcement.
Closer,
we'll get closer. So many articles, and there's even more that I have in mind that are going to be going up today and tomorrow. Lots of videos on deck. Like, God bless, because I was just saying this, I think, last podcast, that we just had hit our first dry patch, I think, for MW3, where it was like legit, okay, there's not much going on now. Too early to talk about Black Ops because there wasn't anything announced for it. Now everything, as per usual, happened all at once. You got a big Reloaded drop with good content to discuss, Black Ops 6 rumors, and then, some other leaks about the future. We're going to be staying busy, man. It's awesome. God bless. Love to stay busy. Lots of great content on the way for you guys. But with that being said...
Why are people saying roadmap in the...
What?
Did you say something about roadmap? Why are people saying roadmap?
What? Oh, is it like the roadmap Oh, wait. Something get tweeted right now? Live Bombshell?
I'm looking.
I think, did he mean I'm giving a roadmap of like content for the next few days? Is that what he means?
Oh, no, I think they're talking about Skur Ritual. I don't know. Oh, whatever.
Skur Ritual. Oh, the zombie, the apparent zombie killer, right?
Okay, yeah, so they were talking. Okay,
yeah. Okay, I was going to say, oh my God,
anyway,
I'm like,
sorry.
roadmap, bro. I'm like, what roadmap today?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good idea. They aren't naming the next Black Ops game about a war that lasted 6 months. That's a funny tweet from Perko right now. That's actually a funny ass tweet. Did the Doom shotgun get broken again? I'll look at that later on. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, I need the poll in chat right here. We had a poll going on. What should the game be called? That's what fueled the discussion a lot. Golf War won at 42%. Golf War won the poll. It was just about to be neck and neck with Black Ops 6, 42 and 41%. Black Ops X lost at a whooping, was that 16? Yeah, 16%, about 500 votes in that. That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. But yeah, folks, lots of great stuff on the way. Happy to stay busy. I think it's just gonna be smooth sailing from this point forward for the rest of the year and the summer. There's gonna be unlimited things to talk about. Definitely expect beefier podcasts, more guests being planned, and yeah, as per usual, more videos as well. But yeah, any last minute comments, questions, concerns, drop them now or forever hold your peace. Mr. Fajardi got some banger renders coming out soon, I'm pretty sure as well. Got some cool stuff.
Yeah,
cool stuff in the works.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff I want to do. Trying to post at least once a week, what I'm saying. But
yeah, get some of that out there. And yeah, with that being said, much love, and we will see you guys in the next one. Also, excuse the slightly crooked camera this episode. My tripod kind of messed up as we were filming, but that'll be fixed next week. Peace out, everybody.